This episode brought to you by Death Sticks, which is exactly my ex-wife's name for my penis.
Hey everybody, we're watching Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I am Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
May the 4th be with you, my friends.
May the 4th be with you as well.
Watch all of Star Wars. Don't go to sleep until you've done it. Start meth if you have to. But here we are, my least favorite Star Wars movie. We're going to suck it up because you got to get through it.
Have to.
But there's, again, every movie that is Star Wars has stuff I love about it, has stuff I don't like so much about it. And I did a video about that too, the good and the bad. I did the first Star Wars, the original Star Wars. And, you know, I picked it apart. Everything I hated about that movie, everything I loved about that movie. And that's true of all of them. So there's only one way to do this, and that is to press play.
Now. What the hell?
It's fine.
I can't see nothing.
You can see everything.
What am I looking at here? What do we... Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay.
I thought you were going to leave it on the small screen. It was like we're playing fucking 4-player Mario Kart.
No, we have got...
Look at that shiny mother.
Yeah. We've got a new system of watching these movies now. I've got a bigger screen, but it's just easier to have it
neat.
to be in front of us.
Oh, this is neat. It's neato.
So, it's a nice mobile studio. I'm going to turn
here
on
we
some
go.
audio
Words.
so we can hear.
Words. Terrace! You're out in the space and the bad guys are winning.
I still think my biggest bummer, and you could feel it, was when Rogue One happened. And so you got that opening, like, oh, it's going to be like, it's the Star Wars thing, and you're like, okay, here you go, and you're waiting for that big fanfare moment, and it just went to a shot, and you're like, and you could hear the whole crowd go, oh.
It's
like,
not
what's
happening.
No.
There is unrest in the Galactic Senate. Several thousand solar systems have declared their intentions to leave the Republic.
This separatist movement, under the leadership of the mysterious Count Dooku, has made it difficult for the limited number of Jedi Knights to maintain peace and order in the galaxy.
Senator Amidala, the former Queen of Naboo, is returning to the Galactic Senate to vote on the critical issue of creating an army of Republic to assist the overwhelmed Jedi.
Hey, this is Ice-T. I thought you hired me to come in and do this.
No, no. You were going to be in Over the Hedge 5.
Man, fuck a motherfucker.
Exactly.
Right?
That's exactly what the character was going to say. We're going in a much darker direction for Over the Hedge 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lots
of swears and ghetto talk.
Yeah. Bruce Willis was very difficult on this one even as well.
Oh, we're out in space here.
Somebody made the point there's only 2 of all the Star Wars movies, only Rogue One and this movie have the camera tilt up instead of tilt down after the crawl. I don't really know.
Oh, who notices these things? Whatever, it's good though. I like that.
One I didn't notice, but...
I always wondered too, like when I watch these ones, how all the spaceships are all nice and shit, but it's we're back in time.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were just speaking in our last whatever there.
Our last whatever, indeed.
That we were talking about Anakin, and then here he is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're giving him another go round for Obi Wan, the musical.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how
musical.
they use him, because it's like there's theoretical ways to use him, but the only ones I can really think of are based in flashback. Oh, I'm really glad you came over and we can be near each other for this one.
I get all my porno from Wuhan. Okay, so what the fuck happened in the last one? The little punk ass went to the junkyard and he had to race a thing.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Yeah, pretty much. And then everything led to this moment. R2-D2! I still want to build a
that guy?
full-size R2-D2 more than anything. So this
What's
is
he doing hanging out with this guy?
this new guy's interesting is Captain Typho, because they had Captain Panaka, who was like her like main security guy in the first one. He refused to do this movie because George Lucas wouldn't let him see the whole script. I'm like, bad news for you, man. You don't get to, like, they try and keep this shit secret.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You are a near nothing character. Like, I could see like Ewan McGregor being pissed about that, but like, Jesus Christ. If George Lucas contacted me at this time period and said, we want you to be...
oh my God.
Oh, do you know who that is?
She's like, I'm sorry, just to die.
No, seriously, do you know who that is?
You. That's,
It was
in the last one, it was...
It was Keira Knightley. In this one, that's Rose Byrne.
No!
Yeah.
And she was like her double.
Yes.
I could tell that was her in the helmet, also because I've seen this film before. But I knew just by looking at her.
At first, I was seeing like kind of little wavy things. It looked like the squiddies from the Matrix going behind them, but it's just ships.
Just picture fucking her holding Mjolnir.
Yeah. She has
if
not
it's reformed.
Aged. Imagine they get her like a lighter Mjolnir, like it's a really sexist.
Oh,
it's
no way. It'll be
It's got a pink handle.
Oh, fuck it. That'll be so wicked. It says girls rock on the side. You know what I mean? One of the gods that we forged this from the deepest volcano.
I could name every Jedi in this.
Do it. Don't be a fucking...
Okay, from the back row, that's Barriss Offee, Luminara Unduli, Kit Fisto, and then it was... I gotta see them again, but it was Yoda, Mace Windu, Ki Adi-Mundi, and I didn't see who was in the far right.
Oh my lord! Wow.
Go to the wide shot again.
Why did they use a puppet?
Oh, there's good reasons for that. One is obviously the scene that they have planned for later they couldn't do with a puppet. Two, they wanted to do the CG in the first one, but they did CG tests, and he hated. George Lucas hated the CG tests for it, so they decided to go with a puppet. This time, literally his CG team or his effects team just sprung it on him. They redid a scene from the original Star Wars with the CG Yoda, and he loved it. He's ready to go. Plo Koon, that was the other one.
Blah, blah.
Braka, braka.
Okay, so what's the problem here? The Republic? Okay, so this is the second one. So, yeah. That is Rose Byrne. There she is.
Yes. So that was an attempt on her life, and we got Jimmy Smits.
Oh my! I can't believe that every girl that's like her double is like a big actress.
Yeah, I know, eh? But I love too, because now you get Jimmy Smits and all that. I love that Star Wars stuck with these people, because again, the prequels are panned by groups of Star Wars fans and whatnot. But then for them to kind of when Rogue One comes around, you bring Jimmy Smits back, and it's good.
Rogue One was fucking great.
Yeah,
look at him; he looks like he's just come back from a Shakespeare festival.
Yeah, of course.
He's just oh fuck you! They're like, you're in the same goddamn uniform. He just pulled off the ruffly thing around his neck.
That's what Alderaan looks like.
They don't even know.
See, I like that scene. They stuck on it a little bit too long because that little shot, because he basically is reading their minds, and so he interrupts her finishing her sentence, and Yoda gets a glimpse of that. And he's what?
Well, they should have already. Oh yeah, there's only two. I get them all mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh, this is where they were like, yeah. Okay, we already saw a lot of Jar Jar in his big action scene, and they realized in the backlash that I always thought that was fucked up too. When it's okay, if this guy's supposed to be such a big role, now suddenly you're cutting him back because people are going you know what I mean?
Yeah. I liked very much. They jokingly though the working title for this movie was Star Wars Episode 2: Jar Jar's Big Adventure.
So when people saw it, they're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Jar Jar's Big Adventure.
So we've got Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, stars of the Obi Wan TV show, coming out. That I still love. There is a great tweet. I'll see if I can find it and retweet it or whatever. But it's a picture of Ewan McGregor as a Jedi. And then it's on this person's wall, and the guy takes a picture of it, and he just says my mom still thinks this is a picture of Jesus. she put it up thinking it was a picture of Jesus, and it's friggin' Ewan McGregor as
Obi-Wan. Do you think if when you get to the afterlife, would they really fault you for that?
No.
This is not a picture of me. This is an actor, and it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, lady. But you know what? You make a great cannoli, you mean well, get in here.
Exactly. Because you can just tell that somebody with that picture, if a woman has a picture of Jesus on her wall, she's probably Italian.
Yeah, exactly. This other thing just came down there.
Was that?
It's like fucking every actor in the world on this thing.
I know there's a lot of good people in this.
Look at their hairdos, man. You
So-
know what I thought? Sorry, what were you saying?
No, go ahead.
I just thought what was really impressive in the last one was when we found out that all those things were actually they said it in the making of The Mandalorian, where they were like, "Oh, everybody was bitching and complaining that all the movie was CG when that all that city in the pod racing scene, everything was a set."
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa, I didn't know that. I thought that was really cool, actually."
There's a lot of interesting things too, because it's like a scene like this is all set except obviously the outside. And then that was Hayden Christensen said his favorite scene to shoot was that big cantina scene because there was none of it was CG.
Right,
It was,
everybody's there.
Yeah. So and it was like he could interact with everything and it was good. This just interestingly enough was the last Star Wars movie to be released on VHS.
No shit.
So yeah.
So what, you can't have the whole set on VHS?
Nope.
Oh my fuck.
Well, it was unless you did some shopping around because you could get episode 3 on VHS in Europe and Australia, but that was in
They get all the
yeah,
perks.
but that's not in NTSC, so it wouldn't have played in your machines. So
Oh fuck yeah. All that porn I ordered. All that VHS porno.
in those giant boxes,
Yeah,
those boxes
huge
alone would have made
fucking-
shipping so expensive.
Holy Lord, the good days, eh?
I really didn't like the way they really had to push, like, oh, Darth Vader, he's got a little bit of an attitude because he's sitting there, he's like, why, like, it's just
in the show, like that little, because I started watching Clone Wars, or was it Clone Wars? I don't fucking know.
Probably.
Yeah, it was all the same. You know what, the fucking Jedis,
Yeah.
at least the bad guys use robots.
yeah.
The good guys were using real dudes,
Yeah.
getting killed left and right. And I'm like, oh, wow, that doesn't sound very humane.
Yeah. Well,
They're all
clones.
named Bob, or
They're
whatever
clones.
his name is. Boba.
They were
Boba Fett Jr.
yeah, they were bred to die. Jango Fett Jr.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Hey,
Fuck are these guys? Like, these are the good guys?
they
Come
know,
on.
they know their
I
duty.
did dig the whole, even though I thought it was really dumb, kind of like in the very last one where Palpatine like comes back, it was still cool as shit.
Yeah.
All the ships are ripping out of the ground. I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
I was like, they're back.
Oh,
Here's Wanda.
I remember seeing this and kind of freaking out. I was like, "Oh my god, Boba Fett!" But then you kind of figure everything out. So we're
No,
listening.
I didn't. I was probably too busy trying to hang myself in my seat.
Nah, this was too early to decide to
Yeah,
hang
exactly.
yourself.
Yeah.
So this was the first one that was shot in digital, and it was really an expensive one to shoot because nobody had shot anything in digital. But now that they've gotten good at it, digital now looks better. Than this, maybe not than like film, but it still looks better or closer to film in general. It's easier and cheaper to shoot. It's easier for post. It's easier for everything.
But George Lucas is always on the cusp of this shit,
Yeah.
right?
And that was the thing. And that was even with the CG Yoda. Like, he was waiting. He's like, can we go there yet? Nope. Okay, next movie. Can we go there? Yeah, we can go there. Woohoo. And so that's kind of where we were at with this one. But this one looked, I think that was one of the biggest problems with this movie is it looked too shiny.
Yeah, that's what like it was. But the thing, his acting is just like I was saying before when they're in the elevator.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the back and forth between the two characters in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Because he is more of a badass, but they're really pushing it in this one. Like, really, you
Yeah.
know? Like, he had moments where he was cool, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess
Well-
they got to convey this change over
and
a
Clone
short,
Wars- Clone Wars takes place between this movie and the third movie.
yeah.
So, yeah. So he's developed a little bit. Interesting, Hayden Christensen, he was in a show. I mean, he had a lot of stuff that he did. Let's just find him again here. He was in the Mouth of in the Mouth of Madness, Awake, Factory Girl, Jumper, Little Italy. Like I said, he voiced Darth Vader in a Clone Wars episode, and he's set to play him again in the Obi Wan
Cool.
series. But an interesting thing he was in this Canadian show called Higher Ground, and it was like one of those like, you know, those like outdoor places for like troubled youth and
Yes.
stuff like that. So he was part of that, but the big thing about the troubled youth was like they were very troubled. Like he was being sexually assaulted by his like stepmom, and his dad didn't believe him, and he started lashing out and stuff like that. And so that was his big.
You
thing.
stop lying about your stepmother!
But a lot of people came out of that show that was like a nothing show because he came out of it.
I remember that Higher Ground.
Yeah, AJ Cook, who was in Criminal Minds,
Peepers,
was
peeping.
on that. And then Jewel State, who was in, I want to say Battlestar Galactica?
Oh my God.
Maybe.
Oh my god, look at that.
whatever.
Not only can you pee, but you can stick your dirty old tongue worm out.
Yeah.
Ew, get on that, man. That's why you need a cat in there.
Yeah.
Fucking get on that thing.
They need, what's it called? Usually when I read Star Wars things or something like that, instead of calling something glass or whatever, they'll call it like transparasteel or something. So she needed some transparasteel instead of like a...
Yeah, it looked like, oh my god, the thing's gonna like go right up her coochie, and the other one's gonna go up her butthole, and they're gonna impregnate her and then turn her evil.
Yeah, they're gonna meet in the middle somehow.
What else were they gonna do, right? Come on now,
no
they're going up under the old covers here. Holy Christ. R2D2 saw something there.
This is one thing that I had an issue with, though, and it's, again, we mentioned it in the last movie. I felt like they started Anakin too young in the first one. Like, they should have only aged the, like, honestly, I would have used this Anakin in the first movie, too.
Yes, I agree.
Because, and then you could say, okay, a few years went by, but they've both, well, that would have just been the natural time that it took to make the movie. And stuff like that. It was like 3 years later or whatever, and that would have been fine. But instead, because she looks the same, and now all of a sudden he went from a little boy to a grown-ass man. And it's
like in a soap opera, like one season they're just born, and then in the next season they're 27 and having their own baby with, Jamal's brother, his ghost.
Yeah, he's now having an affair with the person that gave birth to him.
Exactly. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Oh my god, look at this. I absolutely do. I think I wiped this from my memory, this entire film.
Yeah. See, and
I remember none of this.
I really like I like Coruscant, except for the fact that I really feel like I've seen it before because of The Fifth Element. Like, it's just
I don't think it takes anything away, but you're right. You're absolutely correct. The moment I saw these flying cars around and the way the city looks, it totally reminded. Yeah, but I mean, Blade Runner had it. Like,
yeah, but Coruscant is something that was in my consciousness before the other thing. I knew it was the whole planet was a big city and it was gigantic. So, but I like that we got some set piece like action stuff. I know it's all like CG and blah blah blah, but.
Jedi Poodoo. Oh, you watch that tone, brother.
I know. Well, this is what they were trying to do with Justice League.
Fucking traffic even makes sense.
Language. That's always my thing about flying things. It's like, how do you know where to go and like what level you should be flying?
It's like the fucking British subway system or something, right? You'll get it. You'll have enough crashes, so you'll get it.
Mind the gap.
They had this guy fucking hanging out just in case. They're like, just in case Obi Wan catches this thing and rides it 800 miles down, you be here ready to shoot him down.
She was waiting for the droid to come back to confirm the kill. So the droid was coming back like it was supposed to. It just happened to have a Jedi hanging off of it.
Oh fuck, man!
That's really cool. See, this is one of those things I would love a movie that just took place on Coruscant. You go down to the really low levels because I read this thing. It was like called the Star Wars timeline, and it shows like a certain point, which would have been like 800 years before this was the last time that the surface of Coruscant could see the sun because the size of the buildings finally outgrew it and stuff like that.
Now is the time. They have an entire universe.
Yeah,
they're done with all those characters that they felt. I feel like in the new ones too, they did a lot of. I don't know which way they should have went. Really, see, there's no way to win. No. If you were to make it all brand new, they'd be like, I want to see Chewie. You know what I mean? And then if you don't,
But that's why I like that they're like working on both. I'm happy to see. Hey, what's going on with this character?
Totally. But that's what I was going to say. Is like you have a whole universe. They can just be showing us. Like they have the series, man. Just give me a series about somebody living the life here. But it's excitement. You gotta have some excitement. This and that. Different characters that have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have some old tie to the Republic, whatever the fuck, right?
Something I'll tell you about, and this is something my friends over at the George Lucas Talk Show who were on this show, they rally for a lot, is the release of Star Wars Detours. It's one of the last things that George Lucas had something to do with for Star Wars. And it was basically this comedic show, animated show about characters that and stuff, but the mundane portions of their lives when they weren't going on adventures and stuff like that.
It's like I want to see one of these guys on the toilet. I don't mean like a full, their butthole opening, but wouldn't it be funny to see Han Solo sitting on the toilet in the Millennium Falcon?
I want to see what a Jedi does.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they never, always these movies are going on this big long journey. It's like nobody stops to take a shit at any point.
Wouldn't it be great if
who the fuck are they?
Jedi, they're racing around in Coruscant through the buildings and stuff.
Oh, fuck.
But imagine a Jedi, he reaches down and just, like, does this, like, just wipe with his fingers like this, and he just, like, his butt is just magically wiping.
It looks like they're, like, part of the city down there was, like, just a big computer.
Yeah, well, it's probably
grid
probably
like, it was
PowerPoint,
a weird... Right? It was not covered with anything.
Yeah.
Like, you just drive right into there.
It's weird that well, that was my thing. I was like, is that a tunnel or is that like the entrance to their parking lot? Yeah. Yeah, I've never... See, this is my thing about him as an actor. His regular acting voice isn't really good, but I'm also going to defend him a little bit here because I think he's actually trying to mimic James Earl Jones's cadence.
Ah.
And I think that's a part of it. He wants to sound sort of like James, like not exactly, but enough like James Earl Jones.
You could see that his voice would change. Well, yeah, I always thought, remember when he took his helmet off?
Yeah.
He didn't talk like James Earl Jones.
No.
It was the helmet that did it.
Yeah. Well, still, he had a little bit of like, again,
he was my son.
No, but I'm not saying
going for potato bugs.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could see, like, he just said, "Now go, my son." Like, that could be James Earl. Like, James Earl Jones could say that like that.
Oh, he's a bad... You know what he said, too? Obi Wan was like, I don't know, man, I'm getting these vibes from the senator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Anakin's like, whatever, I think he's a good dude. Like, of course he would.
Yeah. Well,
because he's slowly nurturing your destructive nature.
And we're in a time now where you would call this grooming. Right, Crystalia? But
what's wrong with grooming? When did that become a thing?
Well, no, they're talking about, like, grooming, like...
I know what they mean.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. You know what I mean? You slowly break them down over time.
Yeah, just break them down over time. Yeah, it's like...
they're like your robot.
Grooming is totally allowed if you don't fuck them till they're 18.
Exactly. Right? You wait until, you slowly...
I guess.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, oh yeah, so
who's this chick?
That's Zam Wessel, the bounty hunter who was hired to kill Senator Amidala. It was a lot of interesting people auditioned to play Anakin. They tested like 400 people for the role, but the most noteworthy ones: Ryan Phillippe, Paul Walker, Colin Hanks, Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, James Vanderbeek, Joshua Jackson, Chris Klein, and Jonathan Brandis.
Jonathan Brandis?
It made me actually wonder, did not getting this job, was that the thing?
Is that the final straw? No, it's once the Dolphins stopped taking his calls.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing you.
Yeah, the main reason that he actually hired Hayden Christensen is because he liked the way that him and Natalie Portman looked together. He's like, they have an on-screen chemistry that worked for him, and given it's supposed to be a love story between the two of them, he was kind of on board. So,
I forgot like what we were even doing here. Yeah. He's chasing after the girl that was trying to.
This is a particularly long scene. That's it's one of those things. It's like you could have probably cut like 3 or 4 minutes out of this if we want to talk Snyder cut. But But you could have pared this down a little bit.
See, does he have to pay for parking when you just land like that? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is, I believe it's the second longest of all the Star Wars movies. I think 220 or whatever.
Is the longest?
No, this is the second longest, and The Last Jedi is the longest.
The Last Jedi.
I don't know if The Rise of Skywalker is longer or not, because that piece of trivia may have been written prior to that release. I don't know.
So, like, what I guess, what was the end of the whole thing?
What do you mean?
She defeats her dad, who's Palpatine, and then she becomes queen of the galaxy, or what?
No, she just goes to live a quiet life.
As the last of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Until she has a baby. Yeah. That should be your number one priority.
Yeah.
Bring back the Jedi. Oh, crap.
Yeah. Did you fuck it up? Oh, you're just going to have to deal with it. I like that this is essentially a sports bar. You can see pod racing.
Oh, sweet. It's probably like an off-track betting place.
It sort of is. I like that. Well, I like it and I don't, like, because I like that they have something to say, hey, he's a Padawan, but at the same time, it's such a long-ass braid.
His little rat tail?
Yeah, because, what's his face there? Ewan McGregor had one in the first movie, too. But
he pulled it off a lot better.
Well, yeah.
This guy's like trying to.
So there's Ahmed Best.
Like your rat tail.
Did you notice Ahmed Best, who plays Jar Jar Binks, was there? So here's the guy selling death sticks. If you noticed him, he played Mouse in The Matrix. Remember? He's the one who says tuna fish.
Oh my lord!
The reason he put those in, actually, George Lucas has a whole backstory for those things. And the idea is you get like a special like hallucinogenic high, but it actually takes time off of your life. And then each time you have another one, it takes more time off of your life, but you get a better high. So that was
it sounds like crocodile.
Crocodile, baby.
Holy Christ, no, that's a drug, baby. You gotta really commit. You want into your end, bud.
It was funny.
You better be in it to win it.
I heard somebody mention that on, I think it was the Chris Gethard show, and he was like, "Were you on Crocodile?" He's like, "I ain't been on no Crocodile." And I looked up. Oh, there was the shot. There was just there. Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, was just in the crowd.
No shit, just the guy.
Yeah, just the dude. Well, it's a good opportunity to do that because like when else do you get to do that shit, right?
Like throw him in the background for a little extra
give him
action
give him a little bit of appreciation.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
cut that rat tail, bud. He doesn't keep that thing. Come on.
No, he becomes.
Imagine Jarth had like a robot tail, rat tail, hanging out.
That would be pretty amazing. So this movie.
Ooh,
I knew this at one point, but I think I just kind of forgot or didn't care.
Whoa.
This movie was co-written by a guy named Jonathan Hales alongside George Lucas. I had always remembered this as being just something George Lucas wrote and directed by himself.
Right.
But I looked up George Lucas. His only credits coming up are all Star Wars projects, and it's only based on Star Wars created by George Lucas. That's all his credits. And it's like 9 things. But Jonathan Hales co-wrote this, and he's known for writing like all the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles stuff and the Scorpion King.
The Scorpion King. Who was that? Jango Fett or something? Which bounty hunter?
Well, that was Zam Wessel, the one who flew away from. Yeah, that was Django. Chungo.
Dude, he's got to find the.
Yeah. So he's getting.
They have to go in disguise.
Yeah. There you go. See, my thing, I don't know if I'll have to sell you on it. I want you to go into it with an open mind, though. I look back on when we watched episode 3, and I like it more and more every time I see it.
Which one?
Episode 3, the next one.
Oh God.
It's infinitely better than these first 2, and I actually like it better than Return of the Jedi.
Whoa! Is it the no?
Well,
that's what got me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, every one of them has good stuff and bad stuff, but this one, it's everything coming to fruition. And again, like,
right.
My way of selling this trilogy to people is don't look at it about a movie about Anakin Skywalker. Make it a movie about Palpatine.
Right.
Because when you start to just watch his plans go into place, you're like, wow, this is like a heist movie of how like well written and placed together everything is and stuff like that. Like
that's a good way of putting it. Think of it a Palpatine movie.
Because literally every moment he spends with Hayden Christensen, he's sitting there and going, man, these guys, he's like, I can't believe they're not giving you more stuff. Like, it feels like they don't trust you.
This is like what you're, you know, when you get one of the, what your old ladies doing all the time. Yeah. First it was okay. Then suddenly, you know, hours are good. Everyth's cool. And then I think you could do better.
Yeah.
You should push for that promotion.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you're stabbing your best friend in the back.
A little bit of that. Oh, I want one of those.
Oh my God. I want to go back to this grooming. So what, you can't pick lice off of somebody and then like you're in trouble now?
That's good. Now that's a different type of grooming. But that's okay.
So you know a girl for a long period of time and then you start going out with her and then what, you groomed her?
No, when you start talking to a 14-year-old girl and you start talking her to...
I thought grooming was more in the sense of like I get with you and then I start turning you into what I want you to be.
No.
You know what I mean? Like whatever. Like no eye contact. You know, like
grooming is manipulating a young person into like doing gross.
But over
shit.
time.
Yeah.
But then they're of age at the time then.
Yeah, and basically, no, well, not necessarily.
Ooh.
And grooming doesn't necessarily have to take a long time. Like, grooming is literally just you normalizing horrible shit. Like, hey, 14-year-old girl, send me a bunch of naked pictures. It's totally cool that you do that. And then like, and then they
really piss your dad off.
And then they start doing that. And then when you've got to the point where she's doing that without you asking for it, she's groomed.
She's been groomed.
And then depending on him, on like, you know, personal hygiene and stuff, that grooming may or may not be
Yeah,
too.
exactly right.
That being said, don't do that shit. Don't be gross.
Look at the fucking hairdos on her.
I know. I think that one's supposed to be a little reminiscent. Look at they're repairing the window. I just I noticed that before, but I like that. I think that's supposed to be
because that was her room. She's getting out of there.
Yeah, I think that she's supposed to be a little reminiscent of like one of Leia's haircuts, like her bun haircut or something like that, since she's her mom.
Uh-oh, he's really talking you up there, bud.
Yeah. See, this is, I get like...
You know, if you killed Obi Wan, you'd be the man. I'm not telling you to do it or anything, you know.
I also think that that would have been a much more interesting thing, too, because, again, you get him as a little kid, then you get him now, and it's like, I think they said, like, 5 years passed or something like that, maybe not even that much.
Yeah, right.
But
I feel that they could have done all that shit from the first one in just a flashback in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a quick flashback. Do we really need all this shit about finding that thing? And you know what I'm saying? When
That
he's a kid?
That I don't mind. I think it would have been more intriguing to have him at this age become a Jedi and then come along this far already.
Right.
Because then it shows how powerful he can be and stuff like that. Whereas it's like, okay, he started as a kid. Now he's at this point. Yeah, okay, that tracks.
Whoa. Like what?
Yeah. Also, George Lucas might be the worst writer of romantic stuff in the history of...
I know, that's the problem. Like, look, he's like, like, what was he thinking? Dirty net? What's he thinking there?
Yeah, well...
She's like, don't look, I know we're betrothed to be married, but don't look at me like that. Like, what? I don't know.
Except they're not betrothed to be married. They have no...
Oh, they're betrothed.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's the old space bus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking my ride, baby.
It looks like one of those old trailers. I can't remember the name.
A Winnebago.
No, not a Winnebago.
Or one of the, like...
I'm talking about, like, the silver bullet trailer kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rose Byrne is very upset because she knows she's got to leave here to play Seth Rogen's wife.
She's like that dirty Canadian hippie stoner. Ugh.
I love Seth Rogen now because he looks like he's a tambourine player for Arcade Fire while he's starting.
He looks like yeah, well, essentially he looks like he's in like a Black Crowes cover band. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
he's got his own weed business. He's like, I've only been making this movie bullshit so I can get
into the weed business. Yep.
And I kind of like his idea of he's got mix albums. He's got vinyl albums for like every type of his weed that you can buy. This is what you listen to when you smoke this weed. Oh, when you
smoke this one, right? Oh, look at the sparks are flying between these two.
I went into the weed store that's over here. Okay, that was my cat.
They knew. They're like, get out of here, narc.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. They're like, hey, why don't you hit this big fucker, huh, cop?
It's a weird...
Huh? Cop?
But I did just to prove them wrong. I am a cop.
The only thing that's going to prove you're not a cop is if you smoke this weed and bang this girl I've been grooming. Like, well, I got it. If I got to prove I'm not a cop.
Exactly. I'm crying the whole time.
That looks like a gun.
Yeah. I bought CBD oil because I've been told it helps you with sleep. So I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, that'd be great. And then I'm sitting there and I'm about to they're like, drip it under your tongue, and I'm like, I can smell it from the bottle.
I'm really surprised.
I know, right? It's almost no THC. There's no high to it at all.
So what? It's still weed.
I know. And
you're a drug addict.
I know. Well, actually,
is you coming out?
I tried. If you'll see on my Instagram, I took a CBD pill. And I go, once I take this, I'm officially a weeder. And I pop it in my mouth, and I just fall right over.
That was like my buddy's dad.
The worst name in all of Star Wars here. Dexter Jetster is that guy's name.
Dexter Jetster?
Dexter Jetster.
That's cool.
No, it's not.
Dexter Jet. Look at he's great.
Cool.
Obi-Wan is so way better actor than that Anakin fucking punk.
And that's the thing. Like, he's good in all three of these movies.
He's good in everything. He's Ewan McGregor.
That's the truth. He's Dr. Sleep, baby.
Oh, I watched that movie. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've got it recorded. I still haven't watched it. Because that's how I do things.
Them cloners.
Yeah.
Goddamn cloners coming around in here.
I really dislike this scene because I just, like, why is this a 50s diner?
because it's a 50s diner.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they wouldn't even have heard of the Earth 50s, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like it might as well be playing like
hey,
Shabbat
you know,
music.
you never. Hey, man, when there is something to be, feng shuied or something, you know that all ideas come around and around, and even in a galaxy far, far away, somebody's gonna put in some tacky old chairs and make it look like a fucking 50s diner.
Yeah. So they gave this guy a bit of a backstory. I guess he's in Clone Wars or something like that. But he went on a few. He was like an explorer and like a salvager and stuff like that. Who went on a few missions with Obi Wan.
So wait, so what did it work? The weed oil?
Yeah. Well, it didn't work bad, but I was too chicken to just drop it under my tongue because of the smell.
What are you using it for? You're supposed to, regardless of what it is, you're supposed to take the oil and rub it all over your genitals.
I did. That's like,
and it cures whatever pain it said.
No, but it was like dripping under your tongue, and I'm like, and I opened it, and I smelled it, and I'm like, how else can you take it? Like, can I take this rectally?
Yeah,
and
you can take anything rectally.
But then they were like, oh, just mix it with. That's supposed to be.
It's a DVD library.
No, that's supposed to be Count Dooku in that bust up there. Apparently, it's a piece of the movie they cut out. Was that they're discussing Count Dooku for a second and like his backstory and stuff like that.
Dooku's cool.
But anyways, so I was like, how else can you do it? And they're like, and then I came across this like from Epicurious. It was a woman who cooked with CBD oil like all week, and one of the things she did was she mixed it with peanut butter. So I was like, oh, so I mixed it with peanut butter, and I'm like, this is how a dog takes his medicine. And I was doing that. It worked. It wasn't.
Sure, you went into the old weed store.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking pussy. Just smoke a big fatty. That'll fucking put you.
Well,
out.
they actually they asked us if we wanted that, and I'm like, neither one of us smoke now. Why would we start with something else smoking? And then
that's
Carrie's
what you're
like,
supposed to do when things become legal.
And then Carrie's like, my mom became no, but we weren't even talking. Like, we don't even smoke cigarettes. Why would we smoke any? Like,
what's the diff? I mean, no. Oh my God, what's the diff? Jesus Christ! Like not having smoke in your lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like when they're like, hey, heroin's legal. I'm hitting it.
Yeah.
I'm hitting that shit.
I'll snort it.
Fucking right.
That's how Chris Farley went. It's good enough for me.
I think he probably went a little overboard.
What?
How many hats does this woman have, for Christ's sakes?
I know.
Like in head shawls and
I find that very difficult. It's like, how many friggin' wardrobe changes do you do? This movie it cost
she had like one bag.
This movie cost $120 million.
That's it?
And yeah, I know, all things considered, but I mean, it probably would have cost $80 million if she would have worn like just one outfit a day. You need to talk for a second because I got my nose completely plugged up, and I've got a.
God. Whoa! So what's the deal here? They can't be. He's like, you can't have possessions. You can't be in love.
It's like being a monk, right? You can't get married. You can't.
Well, that's a fucking bummer. Dark side. Hello.
It's John Lennon's song all over again.
And you know that they're not gonna let and if you go to the dark side, you're too busy working, so you're not gonna find any love anyways.
Right?
Just like love of the emperor. All you need is the love of your emperor and a good puzzle. The puzzle is also of the emperor. Oh, here they go. Look, they're at Jedi school, just like old Buddy Groove there with their dorky VR helmets. And they're fucking, what does that fucking look like? There's a little, one of them, whatever Ahsoka-Tan is, whatever her race is. What is her race?
It's escaping me right now.
Oh, yeah. This is only $120 million, eh?
Uh-huh.
That's really, yeah. Man, see now movies, I see these movies, you know, I've always wanted to be in the movies, but now it just looks like shit. It's like Is that the TV?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know. I think I hit it on the. It's.
Yo, that's super cool looking.
Yeah.
No, that.
What, the TV?
It's like the picture frames now.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck is happening to my brain?
I know, right? I can't.
Yo, that was really cool.
This friggin' thing.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Only my hand on your thigh it is.
Well, it's interesting, too, because this answered a question that the first one left, because Obi Wan says that Yoda was the one who instructed him, but then you get into this and Obi Wan he's the Padawan to a different Jedi, not Yoda. So I'm like, well, what's going on? So then they explained it like this: he's teaching everybody. He's not just teaching one person. He's everybody's teacher at some point. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's not as special.
What are these hanging around the air midichlorians?
Yeah. No, but it's just the idea that he's like...
That's cool.
I don't want to say the headmaster.
Are they going to give you that kind of helmet when you walk around Star Wars land and thingy?
That would be amazing. Everybody's got visors down, just bumping into each other.
Wicked.
They actually didn't build Star Wars land, and this is why they give those to you. They're just like, wow.
And it's not like a VR helmet where you're seeing it's actually just a picture slapped onto the visor. You're like, wow.
And then they're like, okay, get ready to go on the Millennium Falcon ride. And two guys just grab you and shake you back and forth.
That sounds way awesome.
You're loving this. It would be very funny as a prank to do to somebody. Really, like, this is it, and
we're going to Universal Studios.
You just go there.
Oh
and
my
you're
god, your child would hate you for the rest of your fucking existence. Fuck, I want to go to that Super Nintendo land, man. Ugh. But you know what the thing, dude? They only have like one ride.
Yeah,
it's just cool.
That's it.
It just looks like so super fucking cool.
Well, it's going to be expanding though because it's going to go beyond Mario stuff, right?
Yeah, well, I guess there's a donkey door. There's like there's a Donkey Kong door.
Nice.
That I guess they're saying that after there's going to be a Donkey Kong ride in there. But it's just like I want the merch, man.
No, I
Give
hear
me that sweet merch.
And they have those watches like the
even though it's because it's March break over there at this point in time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a sunblock or reflection thing. Like it shoots the sun's rays into your face.
I hope so.
You know? That's kind of rude, but she is a queen. She queen senator?
She's just senator. That girl there is the
Why is she so fucking important then?
Because she's the one who's negotiating all these peace talks and stuff like that right now, or she's among the people doing that.
Oh, look at that dirty look he's giving her.
Yeah. Because
she looks like what's her name? Salma Hayek as
Frida Kahlo.
Frida. It's Frida.
That guy looks like
Frida. There she is.
Yeah, that guy there looks like he's like, I have terminal cancer. I can't do this movie. And they're like, no, we need you to like spit out one line of exposition before you die. All right. Because like literally that's all he says. He's like, I can't believe that after several trials, Newt Gunray is still the viceroy of the Trade Federation. Like that's
it. There it is.
Which is like, it's just a weird, like, oh yeah, we're bringing that character back from the first movie.
And what's going on here now? What are they doing? They're yakking about something.
Well, they're talking about protecting her and her safety because there was an attempt on her life, and so she's got ideas about where she should be put. But then he's like, "I'm a fucking Jedi. Why aren't you listening to me?"
He's like, "I'm wearing 5 ponchos. You should listen to me."
Yeah, the most ponchos wins.
Yeah, that's the rule.
It's the high ground in episode 3, but in episode 2, it's most ponchos.
I don't know, he's just so acty or something. Wooden or... I don't know.
There's a lot of choices being made. I really kind of like this idea. Like, there were some really cool ship design ideas in this one.
That's neat, eh?
But I like the idea because this is just a small, like a TIE fighter. This is essentially the first TIE fighter. It couldn't go by itself into light speed.
So, like, he's just going to go back and click back into that thing later?
Yeah. So that's how
somebody could travel by fucking and just click in and...
Well, if they have the same machine.
Oh, I'm sure they have all-purpose ones. The pirates.
Yeah. So this is Camino, where the clones are. There's actually, I think I missed the shot, but there's like that big thing came out of the water. It might still be happening in a little bit, but they actually designed those things for Bespin in Empire Strikes Back. They just didn't use them because they couldn't make them at the time or whatever. But it was supposed to be, they were called like air whales, where they were like flying through the air.
Flying whales!
These guys are designed semi after the Close Encounters of the Third Kind aliens, just as an homage to Spielberg.
She also has like a rat tail.
Yeah, she's a Padawan as well. Everybody is.
They all are.
You're a Padawan till you're not. Get a braid.
Oh, girl. Shit, I was just going to say something. What were you just talking about? What the fuck was it? Oh, you know what got me was this. When I first watched this movie, because I wasn't, like, I enjoy Star Wars. I'm nowhere near a fan as you.
Okay.
Like, I could totally skip, like, Disney altogether. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But, I was always not confused about the clones, but I feel like these movies didn't explain the clones and all that shit properly. Like when you watch the Clone Wars, they really get into all their soldier dudes are clones. They all came from Boba Fett.
Oh,
they're
literally
about
this scene is literally about to explain all
everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is probably why when I tried to drown myself in the toilet.
It very well could be.
I was probably too busy.
There's more.
It's not nearly as bad as I give it more credit now than it was, right? It's when you don't walk into a movie thinking this better be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life and change my life, or I hate it.
Well, and that was the thing too, and I think a big problem with the just the whole expectation of the movie was the first one had such high expectations, people got disappointed, and then this one comes and like they have to make up for it. If they're doing 3 of these, they have to make up for it, and then they feel about how they did. A lot of people think that this one is better than episode 1. I don't think it's as good overall, because the other one had Darth Maul, and it had the pod race, and it had better set pieces, had a better overall score as well. And then this one has this love story that is just so... It's necessary because obviously it leads to the future movies, because it leads to babies. But it's so
babies.
But it's just it's so oh God, it's here because it has to be. And
oh my God, they get to the third. Lucas is like, oh fuck, I forgot she gets pregnant and has Luke, and fuck.
Yeah.
Totally screws it up. I like these behind the scenes talks of that kind of, but this is where it gets, oh my Lord. He already knows he's not supposed to be doing this. You're doing bad.
Yeah.
You're letting this devil woman turn you evil.
Yeah. A lot of this was shot in, I think, Italy. So it's this is a lot of on location here, obviously. I mean, he's really lucky in that sense, because he as much as he did get a lot of green screen stuff, he got stuff like this too.
Yeah.
And he didn't get stuck in Tunisia like everybody else. Everybody else has to go to the friggin' desert in 120-degree heat for,
That's funny. He just said, I don't like sand.
See? That's why he doesn't go. So the movie, like I said, cost $120 million. It made $653 million worldwide. But it's the only Star Wars movie to not be the #1 movie in North America that year.
Really? What beat it?
Spider-Man and Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers.
Oh, The Two Towers was out, eh?
Yeah.
Ooh, Lord of the Rings 1, eh?
Yeah.
Middle-earth defeated Star Wars.
And so it debuted #1. Spider-Man was in first place at the time, and so it knocked Spider-Man out of first place for that week. And then it beat newcomers About a Boy and The Scorpion King, which was co-written by...
No shit.
Or which was written by the guy who co-wrote this movie.
She said she didn't like when he looked at it. You don't mind it now, girl.
Yeah, exactly. See, again, it's weird. This is, again, we talk about grooming. It feels weird because it was just this little boy, and now all of a sudden here we are.
Oh, she groomed him.
I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Now he's a man, and before,
Well, except
it's okay when it's a woman grooming a man.
Yeah, except she wasn't making advances. I like how the audio cuts out there. So here's
the
our
advances.
clones.
I'm sure she was with her eyes.
Yeah,
whatever.
So here's all the clones being all grown and shit. This is very.
I want one.
There are fields, Neo. Endless fields. This is what I got all crazy about with fucking Man of Steel. There's that scene. The scene plays out a lot more like The Matrix than this. When you look and you see all the babies being grown in the codex or whatever thing.
It's kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, these are the good guys,
yeah.
and they're playing God by creating fake life.
Yeah.
To die in their wars, and they're run by children. It's like a child factory.
Yeah.
There's no rules out in the outer rim, baby.
No. These,
no?
No, they're being built because
there they are.
Yep. Tamara Morrison's so young there.
They totally explained. I literally just was like, I don't get it. And then there's the most ridiculous explanation right here. I still don't get it. I'm sticking by what it said. I don't give a fuck. I don't read subtitles and I don't listen to people.
You must have been pissing at this point. It's it was one of those movies where we got the large pops and finished them before it started, and then you're like, I gotta go.
Now it's the good. See, this is the tough thing about going to a movie. #1, I'm probably gonna get drunk, and okay, well, 2, it's the fucking pop machine is never ending. So if I'm going to get my $5 worth, I need to have at least 12 pops.
I miss the old days of just getting what you get.
Oh, no way. Because now I'm in the middle of the movie and I'm like, fuck, man, I got to go get another pop or else it's not going to be worth it.
I'll get a big one and I'll get one on the way out.
But then you can't go see the late movie because they turned the machines off.
Yeah.
Every time it was the last, look at all them suits of armor, man. Who the fuck's making that?
Tycho.
That same lady that made all the chain armor in Middle Earth.
Oh my god,
She's
her
like,
poor
oh
fingers.
God.
I didn't really care for, like, I know.
Oh my God, here goes Niagara Falls.
I know. I hated this.
Look at that.
I had such a Sound of Music thought. Like,
Yo.
I picture, like, getting up and spinning around.
If you're watching this scene right now, just above Amidalia's head at the top of that ridge of the waterfall is an actual little tiny island, and they took a fucking picture of it, and there was a deer on it.
Oh,
But
really?
it's big enough with shrubberies, I guess, to maybe it might have been a fucking ruse, but there is a boat there
Yeah.
that recently dislodged and went a little bit further down.
Was it on the Suez Canal?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they could block that fucker right up, eh?
That's done now. That just finished.
Oh, they freed it.
I guess so.
Look
yeah.
at it. She's got. There's always this ear style.
They were, I think they were depending on rising tides or something like that to help, and I guess they did.
I like that. This is her hair bun. It's like she's all hippied up because they're out in nature.
Yeah.
She has an outfit and a headband thing for.
Yeah.
It does look nice though. It's flowy.
Yeah.
It looks like it breathes well.
I know. I like, of all of the Jedi outfits that exist, I like his the best, with like the leather tunic on top of like the simple robes and stuff like that.
It is pretty cool. I'll bet you some people have gone and Comic-Con does that.
Oh,
I miss
absolutely.
Comic-Con and everything too, man. What a waste.
know.
But apparently,
Yeah.
and I hope I don't have to wear a mask,
Yeah.
but my tickets to the concert are still good.
Yeah.
And it says that it's going to be August 19th, and I'm so fucking jazzed.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, so he was just having like a dictators should be a thing kind of comment, where he's like, everybody should be made to agree. Well, who's going to do that? One person who's like the wisest or whatever. He's like, and if not, he makes the decision. See, look at it's so The Sound of Music. We got to get rid of the cat. She's hitting the mic over and over again. Psst, cat.
Oh.
She keeps
Sorry,
smacking her tail
babe.
into the thing. It's like, no, like kindly fuck
Look,
off.
it looks like a big
This
old
scene-
tick thing.
Horrible CG. Horrible CG.
He's dead.
Oh,
Did they have to put that in there?
yeah. Yeah, this is the end of the whole thing.
He falls off this. The hills are
What- You
alive.
find out that the entire original trilogy is like his life flashing before his eyes as he's dying here. I
Oh my
hate
God. It
this.
was just hilarious laughter.
like
We're having such fun.
like he might as well have just said, haha, we're in love. There's actually one scene,
Totally.
the scene where he's talking about
Oh,
going
yeah.
into aggressive negotiations, which is negotiations with a lightsaber. That was the thing. That's the thing that was supposed to be flying around Bespin.
Oh, well, usually, like, if
yeah.
Commander Riker's talking about aggressive negotiations, he's going to fuck some alien broad.
No doubt. But,
Yeah. Like, yeah.
so there's Boba Fett. This was like his first.
Is your father here?
Yeah.
The King clone?
Yeah. That was basically what happened was, so as they said in the exposition, he agreed he's being paid to be cloned. But he said the only other thing he asked for was one unaltered clone, so it doesn't age faster, it doesn't have any like kind of control things put in or whatever. It's just so, and he's raising it as his son. This is Jango Fett. We also know him to be Boba Fett. It's Tamara Morrison.
Yeah. Good for you, bad.
So this is, I mean, people got mad when like they started digging back into Empire Strikes Back and they put his voice in for Boba Fett and stuff like that. But I'm like,
I think it's unnecessary, but whatever.
it's unnecessary because people would have just let it go and survived. But okay, fine. That's if you were re-releasing it anyways. You want to make that little change? No
If
big
you
deal.
were re-releasing it anyways.
Yeah, well, they were.
Yeah.
But he was actually in a lot more than I realized too. I started going through his thing. He was in Barbed Wire, Island of Dr. Moreau, Speed 2, 6 Days, 7 Nights, Vertical Limit. He was in Green Lantern. He was Abin Sur, like the first Lantern that like dies and gives his ring to Ryan Reynolds. He's in Moana. He's in both Aquaman movies. The one that
He's the dad.
yeah,
He's Aquaman's dad.
yeah,
That would
and
kick fucking ass. I don't care what anybody says.
obviously in The Mandalorian because he's Boba Fett and the Book of Boba Fett.
Could have been any one of those clones.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they actually cloned Tamara Morrison, so they didn't have to CG him. There's just hundreds and thousands of clones of him.
You know what? Like a lot of actors and stuff, I think they're always like, oh, I hate being stuck as like one guy. Wouldn't you be totally cool? Like if I'm Jango Fett and I'm all the clones in every Star Wars thing? That's fucking awesome.
If I was asked to be in Star Wars,
Fucking A.
I'm in immediately, but especially now when they're doing all this other stuff, like anything can happen and anything can tie in together.
Is that kid Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this was his first movie, and I guess he came across Christopher Lee at some point. And he asked him, he's like, have you been in any other movies? And Christopher Lee's
Sit
like,
down.
Yeah.
This is going to take a while.
Well, he said too, he's like, he obviously wasn't offended or anything like that. He just kind of giggled, and he's just like, yes, I've been in about 200 movies.
I said, like, why would you be offended? It's some kid. You know what I mean? Who cares? Like,
well, you never know. Oh, this is the scene. This is the aggressive negotiation scene. So, again, some of the worst CG here in a second. Let's really stop for a minute and watch him cut the piece of this piece of fruit, send it back, and watch her bite it. Especially when she bites it. They actually even...
Oh, my God.
When they've improved it since it was originally released, too, I'm pretty sure.
This is like ordering for a woman. I feel like this is a little much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she had it on her plate. Yeah. She can cut it. Yeah. Who fucking cuts a pear and eats it anyway?
It did look a little better, but before, that bite literally just disappeared. Like, it was like me, CG.
Oh, my God, here it is.
Now she's put in her leather sex of it.
Here we go. This should have losing her religion, girl.
This should have been her Wonder Woman, audition.
The lights should have been better so I could see her in her little slutty what's her name? Yeah. Leia, when she's hooked up to that slimy prick.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so going back to that scene though, because I keep getting distracted. They improvised that scene because George Lucas didn't like the dialogue he wrote. So he made them improvise instead. And he and I just kept thinking to myself, I'm like, so that's where you drew the line for your garbage.
He's like, I can't even put up with this schmaltz.
But well, and the thing is, I mean, like, this is horrible. I'm haunted by the kiss you never should have given me. It's like, I think he says it, like, listen, my heart is beating, hoping that kiss will not become a scar. Like, this sounds like a poem he wrote for a girl when he was 14.
I hear what he's saying, though.
Like, this
he's like, I'm totally in love with you, but like, I'm not supposed to be because it makes me a bad guy. Yeah. See, that's what's weird, too. What, Jedis aren't allowed to have love? Well, like, what the fuck kind of world is this?
He actually makes a good point when they have that conversation where he's saying, he's like, Jedi, they're not supposed to have like a personal relationship of love because it is possession and it can lead to jealousy and it can lead to a fear of loss and all these different things that are paths to the dark side. Yeah, but when
you want to be happy?
Yeah, but right? But every one of those other things can make you a Sith faster than.
Oh my God! Look at this. You know what's going to make you a Sith faster? It's this lady standing there in her fuck me pumps telling you that she's not going to do anything. She's lying. Just go over there and make out with her, buddy. Yeah. She didn't show up in her little bang outfit without, we can't do this. You're supposed to get up now and start to, oh no, yeah, oh. The no turns to an and then it turns to a yes, and then it's like more tentacles. I mean, more kisses. I mean, what?
I have a little bit of an issue with how many times your argument goes to no means yes. This is not the first time you've brought that argument to the table.
You're telling me right now that she doesn't mean yes.
I'm telling you until she says the word yes.
Oh my God. See now the romance has been ruined because of this whole Me Too movement.
Yeah, if you don't start fingering a woman until she says yes.
Fuck. Usually 15 minutes and she gives up and says, okay. Yeah.
This is why Don Juan was actually modeled after...
Pepe Le Pew.
No, he was modeled after Harvey Weinstein. That's why the original Don Juan novel or whatever has him masturbating into plants. He's like, if you're not going to fuck me, will you at least watch me jerk off over by this ficus? It's a real... It's an interesting idea that, because we've had all these different types of planets, it's interesting to have a planet where it's just always shitty and raining.
I dig that, though. I like the water planet. Oh, God.
It's like the Seattle of planets. They all seem really laid...
Seattle...
Yeah. They all seem really laid back. It's always raining.
I wonder, if that would really... Well, they say, when you're in, Alaska and it's dark all the time, it really does affect your mood and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
So I guess if you were in this shit... I think I'd be all right. I just stay inside all the time anyways.
Well, I actually...
Look at the TV's working.
Without having kind of that backstory I just justified to myself because you see how inside it's all really well lit. It's all these bright white lights everywhere they were when he was inside those buildings and stuff. I think that's what's going on. He's like, they're UV lighting themselves inside the buildings.
Oh, like fake. Did he have to make his call outside? Was he worried about somebody listening to him or something? Or there's no Wi-Fi or what?
That's where his droid is.
Oh, the droid is right. I'm sure he couldn't use one of their things.
Yeah, he's like, would you mind terribly? Well, I'm sure he doesn't want to use other people because, again, if he's having like a secret conversation, he probably doesn't want to do it.
Exactly, but like, he doesn't want anybody listening.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? There's spies everywhere.
Yeah. And the rain will block shit out, but you'd think it would fuck up his Wi-Fi too.
Exactly.
I want to see how much like do they pay for their, you know, like what's their version of internet or whatever? Like,
It's probably
do they get
free.
bills?
It's a new world. Nobody owns the space.
Well, then maybe we should be.
Nobody owns fucking air.
Oh, maybe
That's the one thing. It's like, how could you charge me for signals that come through the fucking air?
Well, it's the thing that sends
bullshit.
It's the thing that sends the signals they're charging for, not the air.
Yeah, they don't even need that. Just wave an antenna up in the air, you got her.
It's just
Nobody's ever tried it.
Some dude with a rake that's wrapped in like barbed wire and tinfoil.
Yeah. That's to fight off people that come to steal your tinfoil.
Also, yeah.
He doesn't look
multiply our adversaries will. Look at those.
Oh man, he's got super blue balls. He cannot sleep. Look at him.
That would be hilarious.
Oh my god. I said he's got blue balls, and then he goes, "Mom, no." It'll turn to a yes. Don't worry.
Wouldn't that be great if they were like if they wrote that as a scene where he was masturbating, and then he was watching the movie and he's like, "What the hell? That was my jerk off scene, and you turned it into some kind of weird nightmare." He's like, "What is that? The kind of actor you think I am? That it could be just interchangeable?"
Oh, he's like, "Woo, he's mad." He's like, whatever.
See, like a scene like this, I like him in, but then it's like that. I think a lot of it again is really based on George Lucas's dialogue that he writes, though, because it's the same thing in the other movies. Like I picture like Carrie Fisher going like, "I should have recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board." Like I'm like, fuck off. Like,
well, they speak differently.
No, but she had like a British accent, and she doesn't for the rest of the movie. The next, like, almost one of the next lines she says is like, "Ben Kenobi, where?" Like,
nothing happened last night, right? They both went to their separate quarters and sweated out.
Yep.
Good for you two. Good for you two. Good job.
I just picture she's got R2 in her room. R2 like bends over and just sort of like inserts.
It doesn't count if it's a robot.
And you hear it muffled.
Does it? It doesn't. Just like when they say eating ain't cheating.
I think
what would work with like Android or a robot? It has to rhyme.
Yeah.
Well, that's not 12. Well, you gotta let it come to you. If it doesn't rhyme, it's not true. It has to rhyme.
C-3PO, it can't be me, yo. I don't know. It's the best I can. The Slave One, Boba Fett's ship, Jango's ship.
Oh, is that what it is? It's called the Slave One?
Yeah. And this is something that was really cool in The Mandalorian,
what the fuck?
Because there's a bit that's from this movie that's really cool that they bring back in The Mandalorian that we'll talk about when we get there, but it's cool.
What's the deal? He's stealing clones? Why is he all mad? What's he running for?
Well, because the jig is up. He knows that a friggin' Jedi is looking into what's going on. And he knows, like, obviously he knows he's been fired.
Whoa.
He's been hired by
the baddies.
By bad dudes.
Bad dudes.
And again, this is another cool thing that's all part of, now we talk about Sidious's plan there, Palpatine's plan, is he's set in motion the creation of this army through other people. He set the assassination attempt on Amidala to send her away so she couldn't be there for the vote because she would be a hindrance to voting emergency powers for him, and like all these different things like falling into place. I was like, that storyline is so well written. This basically the same shit happens to Boba Fett. When you watch the original Star Wars movies, Boba Fett is a cool looking character, but nothing really cool happens with him. He's just standing around all cool.
Yeah.
And he never really does anything. And then the one time he does something, he dies like a moron, like 5 minutes in.
Boba Fett,
He's like, what? And smack, and he dies like a fucking Busby Berkeley character.
That's why I always thought, like, at the beginning of one of the movies, you would see him fly out. You know what I mean? Like way later, like, you know, because the movies are way later, and then you'd be like, oh, right when he fell in, he fucking flew out or something.
Yeah. I'm
or
wondering.
blew his way out and lived in a cavern for a while. I don't fucking know. Ran into some mole people.
I've got a feeling they're going to show that in flashback form for the book of Boba Fett.
I can't wait for that one.
I think that's going to be.
I thought Mandalorian was so good. I think I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I love that show.
I really liked it.
So well done. A lot of people are clamoring now for Jon Favreau to take a bigger role in the Star Wars universe.
Oh, fuck, he should. He's great.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Well, they all did really well. I was just surprised to see Bryce Dallas Howard in there mixing up. But I mean, she's just like Roban.
Yeah. She's been doing a lot of directing, mostly documentaries, though.
I like her.
Yeah, oh, I do too. I find her very...
Yeah, I like her as an actress too. I liked her in those... I just watched Dinosaurs Die Horribly, the movie there again, and the last half wasn't nearly as good as the first half, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's really good in those movies. I like the way she... you know, she's very... It's weird to say, like acty, but I like what she does.
Yes.
I like the way that she acts. I like the way that she emotes. I think she's really good.
Yeah, it's not necessarily natural, but it's acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that.
Look at how shiny that fucking thing is.
I know, right? We're going back to Tatooine.
He hates sand.
I know. He's very upset about this. But
it's probably because it's so hot. It's like, get some shoes, brah.
I know, right?
Like, geez, bad.
I like the idea of a rickshaw.
Where doesn't one of the Disney places have this place?
No, it's the place is called... what is the name of the place? It's not a place that exists in any of the movies. But it has this feel. It's got like it's not desert ground, but it's got like the buildings look very similar and stuff like that. So we see Watto again. I like that now this Watto,
this guy,
because he got fleeced and he lost all his money on that pod race and shit like that.
It's not the same.
Now,
it's the same guy.
It's the same guy, but now he's like poor and he's got like
because he ran that big old junkyard, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know this is the kid that ruined him all those years ago. He will. He'll figure it out. Look at that snoot on him. He'll smell him.
Yeah.
Shmee?
Yeah, I know. Not the best name.
The old Shmee. Shmee. Wasn't that, but, Smee? What was his name in the right-hand man of Captain Hook?
Smee.
Shmee.
Not Shmee, Smee.
That's what I said. I like that hat he's got on. I don't know. Is that a plate or what is it?
Yeah.
It's like from an old war.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for 1914.
A really shitty war.
He doesn't look too bad in the...
From a CG standpoint?
Yeah, like he looks pretty good, actually. Like, especially side by side. Maybe because he's in, like, the dark.
Yeah. Yeah,
I honestly, you know what? I just go back to this because I can't... I don't think it's right for them to have to force a Jedi to not be with someone. I think that's totally goes against our human nature.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but then it's just, again, I come back to the point of, and it's the point that Yoda makes, especially in the third one, is a major thing that turns people to the dark side is fear of loss and stuff like that. And it's like, oh my God, and it's exactly what happens to him. Being in, like, basically his story proves that is the way to go. Because
way to be that guy, Anakin.
I know, right?
You know when they, like, point to the sign?
Yeah.
That's him in this one.
Yeah, see, because of me.
No love.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And it's been proven.
Because he's like, she's going to die. And it's like, well, I can't let her die. And then it's this, like, I can stop her from dying. And it's like, oh, I will join you then. And that's but
right. Fell right into his hands, bud.
Yeah, but I really like how they did that in the third one. We'll talk obviously more about it next year when we get there.
Next year.
Well, that's how it goes. We're doing one of the year, right?
That's right.
And I just like that idea of how they did it, because he was good. And it wasn't like he just became a worse and worse dude and then eventually was Darth Vader. He was trying to do the right thing, and then he just got so pulled in. And it happens, and then everything just snapped so fast in the other direction.
Right.
So this is one of my favorite sound effects from the entire Star Wars universe. Let's wait for it. I'm going to take this off for just a second when it comes up, because I love it so much. Wait for it. Love that.
Oh, that's neat, eh?
And they use those.
It should have been a fart noise, but whatever.
And they use those in The Mandalorian when they're all on the Slave One together. He uses those to get somebody in
Holy
it, and they use the
fuck.
same sound effect. And that's one thing I would love.
Whoa.
I know, it's so cool. It's one thing I would love to get access to. Is there is a Star Wars sound effect library so that they can keep everything consistent. So it's like when you make a Star Wars movie, you actually have to access this library because it's like, oh, I need the sound
a laser.
of
I need
a
a
stormtrooper
sound
like,
of
rifle.
whatever ship, right? Yeah.
And every
my God.
every gun has a different sound, different lightsaber sounds, different ship sounds, and all that they've developed through all these. Like even that, like that has a little bit of a pod racer in it, plus a little bit of like another ship. So you can hear that,
I like the look of like Django, is that kind of up and down one with the little wings sticking out.
I never see it, but if you look, you know that stupid thing that
That was in the preview or something.
Yeah, no, but you know that stupid thing that Hayden Christensen falls off of in the previous scene there?
That big tick thing.
That big tick thing? One of those is one of the asteroids here. And actually, it literally has legs. They just snuck it in.
Really?
Just for shits and giggles.
He's just out there floating.
But I've never found it.
I'm going to look for him.
Well, it's because I usually don't think to. I'm looking for him now, but it's not as big a screen right now that we're watching on.
Oh, fuck. You're not teaching your son good qualities here, bud.
Yeah, I know. Here's how to do
Jedi.
Here's how to do some murder. Some good old-fashioned murder. Uh-oh. It's interesting to see him actually piloting something in this one too, because it's in all the movies he's been in up to this point. He doesn't do it.
And Anakin's a better pilot than him.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing you don't see other than like him as a kid doing it. You don't see him at this age really doing it other than he drives the speeder, but I don't count that as piloting like this, like fighter pilot kind of style thing, right? Yeah. That poor kid.
I don't remember that, dude. I think that when they were at Niagara Falls, I think that's when I checked out.
Yeah.
I do not remember any of this.
Yeah, I love this scene.
This movie is like a lot better than I remember it.
Yeah.
Oh.
He did it.
Fucking little slick mother, eh? Yeah. Slick Willie. He's got some sweet moves.
All right, we're making our way to this cool planet.
Trump's already here giving a long-winded speech about nothing.
This is one.
Welcome to. Could you I wonder if the couple were like, yeah, come up, say something. Because, he's at just Mar-a-Lago all the time, walking around in his open robe with this fucking, this little mushroom head poking out.
Wouldn't it be the best if they did it just to, neg him? They brought him on. They're like, why don't you say something, Mr. President? Come on. Yeah. And he starts talking.
Mr. President, that's what'll get him.
And he's talking, and then he comes up, he starts talking, and they just take the mic away. Instead, we don't give a fuck what you have to say.
Get the fuck out of here.
And then everybody just starts booing him, and he just, tries his head just
throw the food in the buffet at him.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's the thing, it's I like that he's a man without a country, literally. He's my whole land is this golf course now, and half of it's closed because of COVID outbreaks.
That he made happen.
Yeah, it's pretty
That
fun.
he spread around.
It's pretty fun.
Man, imagine having that in your backyard, man. Fuck. They just break the thing apart and throw it in the trash when they're done with it. What a fucking waste.
I told you the story of my friend from work from
Tanzania. Your friends. You got those.
I didn't make him up. He's fine. No, but he's from Tanzania, and he went to Tanzania, and they made him not wear a mask and stuff like that. And they're like, "There's no COVID here." And then the friggin' dictator of Tanzania died of COVID. His wife was in the hospital with COVID. Almost his entire staff either died or is in the hospital from COVID.
I don't understand. It just blows my mind. It's it's not hurting you to put the mask on. Why not just put it on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just put it on. Is it killing you?
I know.
I remember hearing I don't know who it was, but they're like, yeah, when I put I know them. I can't remember where the hell I was. And they were like, yeah, when I put the mask on, I can't breathe. Oh, it was a pizza delivery guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, I was like, oh, we're getting back to normal, I guess, here, if everything. And he's like, I hope so. This mask, I feel weird. And I a bit of pat. And I was just like, just give me the pizza.
Yeah.
I was like, just hand me the pizza and spare me this fucking nonsense.
Well, and that's the thing. And I had somebody else too. Is you can't breathe. You're going to get hypoxia and stuff like that.
From breathing in your own carbon dioxide or whatever, right?
Doctors wear those for 12-hour days. Would never take them off. I was like, that's not happening. So there's young baby Joel Edgerton
There he is.
Who will be
I haven't seen him
reprising
in a while.
He will be reprising his role as Owen Lars in the Obi Wan show. That's Klieg Lars.
The Obi Wan show.
So somebody brought up a really interesting point. It was about C-3PO, because C-3PO is there with Owen Lars, but Owen Lars buys him in the first Star Wars. But they were like, how could he not know? I'm like, first off, he doesn't know C-3PO. Like,
Yeah.
because he probably knows him here, but he doesn't say he's C-3PO when he buys him, and he dies the next day. And plus, he's a completely different color. Like, he's
He's not painted yet.
yeah, he's like not the shiny,
Or not repainted.
yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, that's actually a good way of putting it, because I picture that maybe he was like all shiny and
Yeah.
gold at one point, and his sand.
He got all fucked up here,
sand
and then
just
he's gonna have to go
brushes
see the. Yeah, they were putting Buddy through the Tin Man through the fucking.
Oh, okay.
Wizard of Oz.
That dance was not helping anything happen. I was like, is that what you think Jawas do? I don't know.
I loved in The Mandalorian
Yeah.
when you got to see inside their like cockpit.
Yeah.
And he's gonna sit down cross-legged because they're so short, obviously. Right? I was like, oh, what a sweet friggin' episode.
Oh, I know. They thought of everything when they went.
I loved it, seeing him sit there. Those little guys are so cute.
Yeah.
He killed too many of them for my taste, though, but you know.
I know. He was like,
I was like, holy fuck, bro. Like, Jesus.
he was killing them like he was at like a hamster breeders, and he was just, he's like, I could stomp on as many as I want. It doesn't even matter. He's like, everyone I stomp on, 2 more appear in its place.
Weird.
So obviously this shadow was meant to make him look like that's Darth Vader silhouette.
Oh my god.
I showed that to my wife because we
is.
just rewatched all of them recently, and I showed that to my wife, and she's like, I never realized that. That's amazing.
I didn't either. Is that what it's
Yeah,
supposed to be?
yeah. That's why he's like, he put his hair back in that thing. So specifically, when that shot happens, you'll see.
I like that igloo.
Mm-hmm.
Them little igloos are neat.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Oh, here he goes. Where's he going? What's he all fucking pissed
He's
off
going to
about?
find his mom.
He's never even freaking. Oh, okay.
His mom was taken.
He's still got like rage balls. He's like fucking pissed.
Yeah. I had that sex dream about my mom, and I have to go finish it.
Finish it. Yeah, when's Mortal Kombat come out?
I don't know. It's already up.
Oh, there it is. There's the Duel of the Fates
Love
in the
that.
background.
So there's a couple.
Oh, there they are.
See, I like this too. He's having a talk with them. It's like, hey, so where you see a bunch of sand people with my mom? Who's your mom again? Shmi. Oh yeah, Shmi. We know Shmi. Who doesn't know
He can
Shmi?
get all that, eh? Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
Hey, maybe he can.
Yeah,
He's Jedi.
he is. Well, that's
Maybe
an interesting
they're
thing.
like a cosmic like Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that they do with Jedi sometimes. Is sometimes they're really good at just understanding language in general, just to kind of keep everything moving along. But then sometimes they'll have conversations with people and they can't understand a goddamn thing the person's saying, just so C-3PO can also be speaking.
Right.
It was like, well, we're going to use him.
It would make sense though that he would have all the, all programmed in. That's cool because how the hell would you know all these languages for fuck's sake?
Well, and that's one of the main things he was brought in
fuck.
for as an interpreter, and it's one of the first things he says.
Oh,
when he
so
meets Owen Lars, but
Obi Wan showed up here too, eh?
he showed up there first.
Oh,
So now
this
he's
is
seeing
this is the bad guy factory.
Yes.
I love these dudes.
Yeah,
They're full of sass and they just get their heads blown off all the time.
I know. Well, it was the two things. Like, it was the two things about this war. Is one reason that they go to clones is because the trade federations, like their robots and stuff like that, they're so inefficient. Like, they theoretically should have been able to just cut through the Gungans, and they lost.
Right.
So it's like,
Because they're dumb.
which is a reason, and that's the thing. And it's like, we need something that can think independently, and that's why they went with clones.
Surprised. Okay,
No, I was going to say, but what was interesting is this is not how the Clone Wars was envisioned by George Lucas. Originally, the Clone Wars was everybody going to war with the clones of themselves. And it was really interesting because our friend Travis, who we went to high school with, used to talk about reading about the Clone Wars and like comics or novels or whatever. And that's exactly what it was. This always makes me mad. What was this added for? The Techno Union Army. Like he's doing like the fucking
I like that
Skrillex.
guy.
They're all really poorly.
So in the beginning, the idea was that it was going to be me going to kill my own clone.
Yeah, essentially.
But there's all clones of the same guy.
No, but it wasn't that in the original thought.
So they stole everybody's DNA and then made clones of them.
So yeah, in that world, you would have like a clone of Anakin, a clone.
Oh, no way, buddy.
But
no way. Me and my clone, we'd be best fucking friends.
I know.
Oh, we'd be butt fucking 5 minutes in. We'd go down with the ship just making the fuck out.
That would be the best if they did that version. You got hired in the movie, and it just shows you way in the back,
in the window,
like so.
Just giving her,
not even having sex, just making out.
Yeah,
just
giving her like a full on, like in the corner making the fuck out.
Like the end of Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell and Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, or like in The Simpsons when everybody starts making it, like they're making out.
Just harsh.
Like a good makeout. So don't you fucking me out me.
Yeah.
Oh,
these things were originally supposed to be in another scene that got cut, but they didn't want to like waste the money, or they didn't want the money that they spent like modeling these things and designing them to go to waste, so they just threw them in a shot.
Yeah, what the hell, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy just how much stuff gets left.
I know.
On the floor, man. You know what I mean? Like, literally.
Well, and before they even shoot it sometimes, too, because there's another thing coming up. Actually, we went past a little bit of it, where they were all sitting around that table having that meeting where it was like the Techno-Union Army. That table they were sitting at was actually awesome. Meant to be Palpatine's, like, boardroom kind of thing, but they cut that scene, but they had already built the table, so he's like, we'll use it for something else, so they threw it there. So actually, if you get a closer look at that table, it actually has a little bit of the Empire's like look to it.
Why is his mom here?
She was stolen by the Sand People,
and then they gave her to the place that makes the bad guy robots?
No, he's not there yet. He's on Tatooine still.
Oh, the other dude's there.
That's why I said, you said Ewan McGregor's there too, and I'm like, no,
I thought they were going to the same place, and he had shown up.
No, they're on different planets.
Oh, the Tusken fucking Raiders story. Yeah, just what? She's making sandwiches or what?
I don't know.
What are you even using her for?
I didn't like that she was tied up like backwards too.
Oh Lord.
You know, given the fact that
he got there just in time for her to die in his arms.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I feel like I would have been happier if I would have been 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, she's dead.
No. She's just waiting to die in someone's arms.
Because then she could have been dead for a long time.
Yeah, I guess. That'll get you pretty angry.
Yeah, this is when he does.
I kind of, like, I hear what Yoda and them saying, but I hear this guy, man.
Yep.
Kill your mom, won't let you bang your old lady. Of course that's going to get you some pent-up rage.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, look at that. Whew.
And that's the thing. So, like, this happens, and there was also...
oh, shit.
Something that was supposed to be in 3 that they cut out is Palpatine tells Anakin...
Ooh.
Palpatine tells Anakin that it's Count Dooku who paid the Tusken Raiders to kidnap her.
Ah, see, that makes sense.
So now he's taking, like, so that's what originally pushes him to kill.
Which is all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Because, like, I wouldn't believe that the Tusken Raiders just would take her.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, I'm sure they wouldn't keep her if they were. You know what I mean? They don't even seem like they're not that brutal.
They don't really give a shit, except they need stuff more than they need people.
Right. Like, they wouldn't keep her, unless, I don't know, maybe they're just being brutal. Maybe they just used her as a little dirty old, you know?
What do their penises look like?
I don't know. Probably like the thing that they drive on.
You know what I
picture? Fucking thing with the horns.
I picture they all look like Floridians with face tattoos when they take off.
Maybe they're like a pure light essence. Like, they're gorgeous. They take the helmet off and they're just like,
it's like Kate Blanchett.
You just start crying. You're just like, it's like Kate Blanchett. Anywhere.
Yeah.
You see Kate, you're sobbing. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
A light.
She
sort
has
of like an old penthouse spread where, like, is this a dream?
She has an elegance. Like, I don't like, because everybody talked about that in Lord of the Rings too, how she, like, just exuded the most beauty. She wasn't the most beautiful woman on that movie, but she did have this elegance that is like, of course I buy her being the main elf. And, like,
what's her name? She rocked an elf too. What's her name there?
Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She was a great elf. Sure, I'm surprised she wasn't in more.
Geonosians. So this is
dirty
actually
old
what,
bug guy.
like, you know, the Nemoidians who were in episode 1, you know, this isn't possible.
Right.
They were supposed to look like these guys, but the CG wasn't there yet, and they didn't want to make those guys puppets. So, because you can even see the shape of their head looks like those droids.
Right.
So the idea was they were making droid versions of themselves. So that's where that design originally came from.
Oh, there he is, just chilling, listening to the radio.
Pretty much. That would have been the best. He's like going, just for 1 second, you just hear like, Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and then it cuts again.
Like, do they have radio channels? Would there be an intergalactic radio channel? Like,
I
why
know-
the fuck not? You can fly on space, you might have radio
They
antenna.
have something called the Holonet, so that would be along those lines. I think that's more like talk radio. That's like
Oh, fuck.
she kind of rested her head on him there. I didn't like that. She's obviously
They're
not
like, where you been? I just found my...
I just wrote a news story. So he went through all that. She's not dead. And she's like, and she's trying to get out.
And he's like, no.
She's dead.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I could hear her. No, she's dead. It's going to be really hard for me to justify like genociding a freaking species.
Yeah, like they're like, where you been? Yeah, just genocided a species and found my dead mom.
So you can see that's very similar.
Is that blue milk?
No, the blue milk's there, but that like speeder thing there was very similar to Luke's T-16 hopper. You can see too I'm trying to see in the shot. I've got things in my way. You're supposed to be able to see Luke's land speeder in here too.
right
Like
here?
yeah. Well, because it belonged to Owen Lars, and they just still had it when Luke was older.
Oh, I don't see nothing here.
No, I don't know.
I don't know, kid. What are you, 5?
I know.
Like, what? Because you weren't there, you had no idea where she was?
And this is the thing too, because you can't even say like, oh, you had a sheltered life. What, as a slave?
Yeah.
As a slave living in like one of the worst places? I really hate that everybody calls him Annie.
Well, I should be all powerful.
Here's my thinking when it comes to a Star Wars movie. If you have to shorten the name of the person that you're talking about, maybe give them a different name. Maybe don't call them Anakin Skywalker because you're going to call him Annie.
I will.
She's like, Annie, are you okay? Are
He's
you
having
okay,
a little
Annie?
shit fit here.
There's the speeder in the back there.
Yeah.
So that's the exact speeder that he...
I should have all the power to just do whatever.
That would have been the best if he damaged something on the speeder that happens in episode 4. He's like, oh man, there's something wrong with-"
something hit this. Some snot-nosed punk must have thrown something at my speeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what were you supposed to do with him? They stole your mom, bud.
Him being upset, not like line delivery and stuff in this, but like he plays good upset.
Yes.
Like he looks destroyed right now. But again, his delivery of the lines is what it is. We're accepting it.
Good.
You know what I'm thinking though? My favorite part about this?
Whoa.
Yeah. My favorite part about all this is her basically deciding this is the man I'm gonna marry.
I love him.
Finally.
Don't you think that would
Killed a bunch of
like
dirty
sound good to
foreigners.
your lady? Like, I just killed a bunch of people because they killed my mom. Like, what was I supposed to do? Like, give him a high five and have fucking a burr with him, and then like
She's down with justice though. She would have been like, you know.
put them to the court.
Yes.
Did you murder her? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Kill them.
Sounds like you're celebrating. She's petting him.
Like, he's not even supposed to be mad that his mom died. He's just supposed to be like, oh, whatever.
He's
I'm a
supposed-
Jedi.
Well, I get it. It's all the monkey religion kind of thing about it, right?
What'd you say about monkeys?
Monk, yeah, monk, like monk-ish.
Oh.
Like, you know, these are people who they take vows so they stick to their religion.
That REM song should have come on.
Yeah.
When he's killing them all. That's still losing my religion.
That's my mom in the corner.
Ooh, he's killing all those fuckers.
That's me with a light saber, losing my religion, beheading some people. The distance from the skies. I don't know. I didn't have really much info for that. Who's the other person who died? Is that his?
Yeah,
first
the one
wife?
guy. Well, no, they don't even care. They're
like,
whatever.
Now Klieglar's like, now I have to find wife number three.
It's like when you said like one person dies and then Michael Jackson dies the next day.
I know.
It's like Tony Stark died, so I don't give a fuck about you, Black Widow, or anybody else.
That's true. Although time passed, we just didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
That's
He's pissed. So we didn't have a lot of action in it, actually.
yeah. I want
Like
the story
5
about
hours,
Klieglar's just going through the women of Tatooine now.
Whereas,
He's just like, I'm on another one.
oh, this is their beating up.
Yep. So this is a callback. So this is from the first movie. Seems he's carrying a message from an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Does that mean...
Says I'll just read it to you. Give me a paint job.
Yeah.
And a new lube.
Lots of lube.
Uh-oh.
Quick, hit the button that transmits messages to Coruscant. There it is.
He can't do it himself, right?
Quick, it's just
they're
one
looking for Django.
Geonosis. I'm trying to see who else I can see.
Palpatine. Look at Buddy there with all the eyeballs. He's there.
I wonder if that's a design thing because I feel like you were going to be able to see her nipples through that shirt.
I absolutely guarantee you. I was thinking the exact same thing right when I saw it. I was like, that thing's right covering up her nipples, and I guarantee you they made it before and you could see her nipples right through it, so they slapped a piece of thing on there.
Yeah, because it corners right on there, so then even if you could see her
it's
nipples...
like a pocket, so you can play with your own nipples.
Yep.
Without no one knowing.
Uh-huh.
You could just say, like, I'm digging for a mint. 2 mints.
2 minutes.
Like, way too long.
Something they really don't... Like, it's a big piece of the puzzle that they don't explain in this movie, because they talk about Sifo Dyas, who was a Jedi Master, who they said is the one who ordered the clone army. But they don't mention, did he really order the clone army, or did... Darth Sidious order it under his name, or like that, like was it something like that? Like I think they mention it again in the Clone Wars, and I don't think they went too deep into what actually happened, but it all came from a typo in the script, because originally it was supposed to be Sifo Dyas, which was just supposed to be a friggin' like an anagram of Sidious,
Right.
and the
I just blame it all on the senator there.
Yeah.
Not the senator.
Palpatine.
Yeah, Palpatine.
Yeah,
It's all his. He snuck this way, he took this route.
I knew how,
him.
but it then leads to me like I'm like, was Sifo Dyas like another apprentice? Because like he's going through apprentices like crazy. He had Maul, and then maybe he was Sifo Dyas, and then Count Dooku, and then
who's this guy?
He's from Malastare. I know that much. He's a senator. I don't know anymore. See, he speaks that language. See, that's another thing too. It's like when you go to Europe and you find out that like people from Europe, they like speak like, some of them speak like 7 or 8 languages because their countries are all super close together. I was like, I guess that's a thing you have to do. I was like, yeah, I speak the language of almost all the bloody
I just find it crazy that next door speaks a different language next door to them, different language next door to them. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit.
It must be very confusing. That guy looks like he's like a fat version of an avatar. Like those are his, like
maybe that's their evolved form.
Well, you know, like how like they hook up their antenna things and they have sex. It looks like the thing that has sex is just dripping out of him.
That's how you connect with your avatar.
But it's also how they mate.
It's like soul sex. Oh fuck.
True. Oh, Christopher Lee, baby.
Is this your first movie, Mister?
Yeah,
it's mine too.
Now, Christopher Lee. We've talked about him plenty before because of the Lord of the Rings movies.
He's in Clone Wars a lot. He's like the main dude.
Yeah, but is it like... Think about this for a second. The man has been a Bond villain, a wizard in Lord of the Rings, a friggin' Jedi/Sith in this, and he played Dracula. Like, is there any cooler...
It's pretty sweet, eh?
You know, he's like
so killer in Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah, it's like the pillars of fun acting.
And he has been in a lot of really good shit. All them Hammer horrors or whatever they're called. Yeah. He's in all those.
And the man with the golden gun.
Fucking everything.
So good. I miss him a lot. He died in 2015.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah. He was in rough shape, apparently. That must have made, like, The Hobbit must have been so hard.
Usually what happens before you die.
I know. The Hobbit must have been like so bloody difficult to film because they kept having to like go back to England to shoot chunks of it because he couldn't travel. Ian Holm couldn't travel. It was like, so
why? Because they're too old?
They're too old. They just like, it was like,
I'm not traveling over there.
Yeah, it was like,
if you want to make a movie, you want me to, you got to bring it here.
Yeah, I was like, I can't get out of bed. You're actually going to have to do this in my room. Like, throw up some green sheets on the walls.
That's probably no fucking problem nowadays.
No.
Like green screen a room fucking a couple minutes, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Zoom and shit, like, well, certain apps and stuff are removing the background without, like, you putting a green screen up anymore. Pretty much pretty soon you'll be able to do that perfectly. You'll be able to do it in a mall and have it look like it's in space.
Oh, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I've been in space too long. I could go for the mall. So what is he's speaking nicely, but he's got him trapped.
Yeah. Well, what's really interesting here.
Wait, sorry, is he pretending that he's good still?
Well, yes. But he's doing two things right now. So A, he's saying, I had nothing to do with this. I'm going to get you taken care of. Second, he just told him the truth. He just said that this dude is the friggin' Sith. And he's like, but then he's like, you have to join me to defeat him. He's trying to overtake the Emperor because that's what's always happening when you have the Master and Apprentice. The Apprentice is always trying to kill the Master.
Well, when they're bad guys.
Yes. Well, that's
why you can never work you're like, oh, he's losing guys left, right. It's always because like you can't work for the main bad guy. Yeah, he's always like, you're my right hand man. You piss me off, boom, you're dead. Now you're my right hand man. And it's like, oh, whoa, I moved up the ladder real fast.
Or he tries to kill you because he wants to be the main guy.
He wants to be the main guy, like Starscream.
And they always, and that's why like in the storylines they've always got these people who are pushing. So this was the big thing too.
Oh so, yeah, the ETs are in here.
Yeah, no, but they just basically they not only made him like cut him out of the movie a lot, they made him responsible for the Emperor.
Oh my lord!
Because he just said we should vote emergency powers to him. So if you look, you'll find Wookiees. And
yeah, they're all. I'm trying to find the ETs. They get a good shot. So
yeah, but so essentially he is like he's indirectly responsible for all of this. And George Lucas modeled this directly after Hitler too, because this is exactly how Hitler came to power.
With Jar Jar? That motherfucker. That son of a bitch.
Brilliant. I like this idea. Like, I feel like this is what the UN should really look like instead of just...
Oh, that'd be wicked. Yeah, of course, it's like a bunch of fucking white people dictating what the rest of the world's gonna fucking do.
That's not true. The UN has black people and brown
they're just like that guy at the Trump rally.
Oh, God.
You know that they talk shit about him at the water cooler and then vote him out.
That was my favorite thing when Trump went to the UN and everybody laughed at him, and then like they had to have a press conference where they're like, no, they were laughing with him. They love him.
The cloners.
Because he was talking about how their country's doing so great at certain things, and everybody was like, ha, 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 ha. And it was like, man.
They're like, what a fucking goof. Hey, what the hell?
I feel like it's what Aquaman
Is this
must
the Rumble?
go through.
This is the one with that sweet Yoda Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I was like, yeah.
I remember.
I thought the movie was almost done for a minute there. No. It's like nothing even fucking happened.
Yeah. Well, lots happened, just nothing plot-wise.
They did cover up her nipples. Yeah. That happened.
That definitely happened.
They're fart vents, bud. You don't gotta go down the old fart vent.
Yeah.
You'll never get it out of your clothes. It's like the bog of eternal stench.
These are all the gassy sarlaccs. Like the one in Tatooine burped, but like this one is gonna. This one is just like
the other end.
He's just constantly gurgling because he never eats people. He only eats deep fried shit. He's just like, I'm dying.
Dude, you have to see Trancers. You remember me to talk to you about Trancers when we drive home, man. Holy fuck, God. What a movie.
We'll have to do that one.
Oh my God, they're so good. There is that fucker. I'll just say one thing that happens to Trancers.
Okay.
You travel down. Okay, they're way in the future, and he's hunting Trancers. They're just like people that are, I'm a monster or whatever, right? But you go from the future, you travel back in time through your DNA line, and you take over, like Quantum Leap, someone else's body.
Okay.
So Jack Death, ends up in the body of Helen Hunt's boyfriend. Helen Hunt is in the first two.
Or Paul Reiser.
At no point, at one point in the movie, she's even like, I like you. or she's like, what happened to the boyfriend? Like, you're in his body. And he's like, well, they're kind of just in limbo.
Yeah.
And he never leaves the body. And at one point in time, she's like, I like you better than my ex-boyfriend. And he never gets his body back. I'm like, this is the good guy. And then a police officer, his partner or whatever, his boss, comes down the line and gets put into like the body of like an 18-year-old girl. And I'm just like, oh my God, so this hardened, and the girl's like smoking cigars. I'm like, you're killing this girl.
So the movie,
like, you're gonna leave this girl's body, and she's gonna have her lungs are gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what you did behind closed doors? Now you're like an 18-year-old girl.
Kind of a spoiler alert for Wonder Woman 84 too.
Yeah. This movie's like, what the fuck?
Do you know what happens in that?
Oh, it's a terrible movie.
No, I know, but you've seen it though?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say, like there's that one spot where they're like, oh, so she essentially is sexually assaulting this man.
Oh, dude, that movie, there is so much wrong with that movie. Like, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, such a bummer because the first one was good.
Yes, it was. The second one, like, they didn't do anything with the bad guys.
Yeah.
And the whole story is fucking, ugh.
You know, Patty Jenkins is doing a Star Wars movie, eh?
Oh, cool.
She's doing, it's called Rogue Squadron. Her dad was a fighter pilot, and she's now doing one about the fighter pilots of Star Wars. So that's going to be pretty cool.
That's neat. I dig her. I don't know. It was too much of a convoluted movie.
Yeah.
Diana seemed like a real bitch in that movie, too.
I think
it's like in one scene, you're like, oh, I'm your friend, and your friend almost gets raped.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next day, because your boyfriend has come back, you could give two fucks.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even notice that she had power. I was like, this movie's so bad. I don't even watch the Star Wars here.
Yeah,
Try to.
Yeah. You don't.
I've already diverted enough with transfers.
Let's not get down a DC rabbit hole.
I know, Jesus Christ.
So this movie, or this whole scene, this set piece, was not in the original script. The original script had them literally just show up and get arrested immediately, and then it goes to the big kind of gladiator kind of thing.
Right.
So this was all reshoots.
Oh my God, he just pushed him.
Yeah.
This is all reshoots.
Yeah.
Did you hear what oh my God, look at this. Reshoot. You got to reshoot this? What, on a fucking computer? He essentially had his own, like, talk to the hand.
Yeah.
He said, or like, shut the front door. He's like, well, shut me down.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, woo, girl.
Well, imagine he said, well, bless my sweet bippy.
Yeah, right? Like, I like that. That should be his, like, catchphrase. Well, shut me down. And he's now voiced by Monique. Oh, fuck, to find all these bug dudes from God of War. Yeah. Oh, my God, right in the old whatever that is.
If R2-D2 had a voice, it would be Medea. Hello.
Oh, my God, I was, like, flipping around on Tubi, and it was like Medea goes to jail, the play. Medea on the run, the play. I was like, oh my God.
Well, that's my thing, because I mean, it started like Diary of a Mad Black Woman was a play, and I was like, and then I started seeing these things, and I heard about that, and I'm like, did he really do these as a play, all of them as a play first?
I don't know.
Like, it's like the Bond movies.
Oh,
it's like where they like which ones were books and which ones weren't.
Oh, look at this. Look at this tomfoolery. Oh, for the love of fuck.
These remind me of the fart guns from Despicable Me.
The fart guns. Oh, anyways, I was like Universal Studios is packed to the tits.
I know.
It's March break and no one gives a shit, and it is literally they said like 10 minutes after the park opens, it's like nobody else comes in because they're at capacity.
But what do you mean? Today's May the 4th. What are you talking about?
You're right. You got that right.
Todd just fell
I just
asleep.
mean in general.
Todd fell asleep and woke up just now in time.
I told you time has no meaning. I am a trancer. Actually, I'm not a trancer. They're evil. I'm a time traveler from up the line.
This show is being brought to you live from the bookcase in Interstellar. It's all good. I like this idea because you think this is the moment he's going to lose his hand, right?
Oh, yeah, he's got no hand. Oh, my God, there she goes. You just liquefied her.
Yeah, that would have... Imagine that was like a weird misdirect where she dies and it was never her that he has the kid.
Oh, yeah, it's his... it's one of her... not her clone, but one of her
bodyguards.
Yeah, body doubles.
I was just going to say just depressed and drunk, and he just impregnates some random girl at that Death Stick sports bar later on.
Stick.
I know the place isn't called the Death Stick.
So
but
this whole thing is all new. Like they finished the movie and we're like, we need this scene.
yeah,
They probably were like, there's not enough action or something.
they didn't like that it just jumped immediately from them showing up to being arrested. They're like, they need something where they have to escape or try, and then they fail to escape. Uh-oh.
What is this? The big old chopper?
Yeah.
They're putting machines together here?
Yeah, this is where all the droids are being
The
manufactured.
little assembly line here. Oh, shit the bed, eh? Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's because you fucking whipping all your shit around.
Well,
That's why we can't have nice things.
He didn't whip it. It got chopped, and half of it went flying.
Maybe we lost it before.
Yeah, well, that's
fucking
true,
Obi Wan
too.
had to find the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, there he is.
Give me Jedi.
I like these robos. That'd be a cool little toy to have. These guys.
Oh, yeah.
They should walk around like little,
Droid tech house.
like, little remote control guy.
Yeah, like a
Nobody
Sphero.
does those anymore, eh?
Sphero does. What are you talking about? Nobody does what anymore?
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like remote control cars and shit.
Of course they do.
They're still out there, right?
I was gonna say there are
Like boats?
go to Toys R Us. There are literal aisles full of them.
I haven't been there. I'm not allowed there anymore.
I was gonna say last time I think you probably were there was when we did our all nighter. So
Oh,
you could go get this and get the plastic.
And then they're all the games are on like the thing now. I'm like for fucking waste.
We have to make arrangements to do it still. We have to do the 24-hour stream of commentaries, do canon films, just get like fucking Missing in Action and Death Wish 4 and Superman 4 and Cyborg and the Apple and like all these ones that we haven't done before.
They say that's hilarious.
is
In
hilarious.
Nemesis, it's the director of Cyborg
Nice.
and Fender's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, and Tom Jane. Naked. Full naked Tom Jane.
How's he look?
Good.
Nice.
But his acting was way too good for the movie. Like, way too good. Like, he's naked in the window smoking. All of a sudden, it's like, is that Tom Jane's ass? I noticed him from his ass.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that ass. Is that Tom Jane? And then he turned around, boom, it's Tom Jane.
I don't like watching people eat naked. Can you put on some pants while you're chewing that scenery?
Yeah, he was really good at it, actually, though. I was like,
They're
shit, man,
so
he's real good.
They're so good at kissing, they're getting cheers from all these Geonosians.
Kiss. We're legally not allowed to kiss. Woo, yeah. Man, imagine we just go somewhere cool like this, man. Fuck.
This place, you know what I feel like this place smells like? You know if you like had like a drawer that like had been full of cockroaches at one point and it stinks? It was like, I feel like that's what that whole
A
planet smells
drawer
like.
of cockroaches.
Yeah, that happens.
I don't know if the cockroaches themselves stink.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's whatever
They
they-
haven't been around long enough.
whatever they left
That's
behind.
one thing no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah.
You could literally have an entire movie where you just kill real cockroaches and
Yeah.
just like fucking
Well,
kill more of them.
There's a documentary
Fuck.
about a guy who like dedicated his life to killing every cane toad in Australia
Aw.
because they're not.
Oh, they're an introduced species.
They're an introduced species and they're fucking everything
Yeah.
up. So it literally shows a scene where he's weaving up and down the street, just running over.
running over
Because
frogs.
literally, it looks like
It's like when those crabs come over
it
the
looks
town.
it looks like leaves in the fall, man. They were all
That's
over
everywhere.
the road, and he was just going squish, 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 squish.
Oh, the poor bastards.
Oh.
It's not their fault they're an introduced species and they're loving every minute of it.
Yeah. That was Poggle the Lesser, giving everybody the.
Oh,
what
now they know
for.
this guy's fucking...
Is he really loud, or does he have a PA system there that I don't know about?
I don't know. Maybe speaking to them all psychically. Oh, fuck, here's this guy.
I always love this. He looks stop motion. He doesn't even look CG. Like
They
he,
could have had a real shot of him for real coming out, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
on the gate.
well, I don't
Oh,
think.
fuck, and they're backing it up with this guy.
I was gonna say I don't think you could have a real shot of him because it's not a thing.
Hey, could you make his head? And then, you know,
Oh.
you just see his head come out. His real head, you know,
Yeah.
real, you know.
Well, I would actually tend to agree with the way they did it, only because then you're comparing the two. You see the practical one, now you see
Right.
the CG one. And it's like, I just do the one thing, because then if they don't like it, they don't like it, but at least they don't have to say, see, it was so much better that way.
Oh, these poor bastards. They didn't even want to
know.
fight, for
No.
Christ's sakes.
You find out these are actually 3 of the most peaceful species on the planet.
In the
It's
universe,
like,
yeah.
the only thing that makes me violent is getting, like,
Tasered in the ass.
yeah, like
in my
electrically
mandible.
probed.
Yeah, well, you two Jedis were fucking whining and bitching. Fucking Padme there, whatever the hell. Adamalia.
Oh my god.
Just fucking...
Adamant over here.
Adamant. Adamant.
Yeah. Adam Agoyan over here
Oh my
is
God.
friggin'
over here. Oh, this guy's pissed now.
Yep. Everybody's got to deal
You're
with this
still,
shit. in their own way.
okay, there you go. Bing. That was
I
easy.
like that they bring out a variety of animals though, so you can see these people die different ways.
Yeah, it's for the crowd.
Yeah. Oh,
That guy's
you
not
hit me?
fucking A.
Fuck you, bitch.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
That guy's not fucking around.
That one's definitely the worst one of the three because it's fast and it's like way more. It seems way more vicious. Like this thing, just like I want you to die, but that thing's just like
Clawing and scratching and fucking snarling and.
It's like it looks like it's gonna take pleasure in killing you. The big one almost looks like it's just afraid of him, like he's a bug. He's like, kill it.
Get it off me!
But
that
this
guy's
thing,
cool looking. He would
cool.
make a cool plushie.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm really interested in seeing, again, this is at Disney, the Star Wars thing. There's one spot that's dedicated to like the creatures of Star Wars, and they have like they have plushies and things for all sorts of different like species.
Oh, the
like,
random ones, right?
Well, just everything. Like you can get porgs and Wookiees and all that.
Oh,
other
but
shit
the
there.
porgs sell like crazy.
Oh God, yeah.
What about this guy? This guy's flying off the shelves.
He's doing all right.
What about Baby Yoda's
That's a
probably
hate
fucking.
crime.
They probably got truckloads of Baby Yoda coming out of there.
Oh, good
or
God.
Grogu, whatever his name is. Grogu.
Oh man. Well, statistically, you should have accidentally pronounced one name right by now. Like,
she's tough, man. She took a real hit to the scratch to the back there,
see,
man.
if I get like a little scratch on my hand, like my dog ran across my hand and left the tiniest scratch, and I felt it. Like I was like, "Where's my parade?"
He was laid up.
Like,
just laid up.
yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, you got it, bro. Ride him. Ride the beast, baby. Yeehaw!
Taste the
Oh, look, he
rainbow.
did say hi. You have to see. All animals understand the word.
Yeah. I just don't think you can think when you're being tossed around by an animal. It's just what comes out of you involuntarily. I wonder if like his meat tastes like crab meat, like, or if those are big crab legs.
Oh, he looks. Nah, I think they're gross. He's not water. He's more like a praying mantis.
Okay,
So goopy
that's
and like.
that's a bummer.
Oh,
That's the
sin,
weakest
sin.
kiss. That's the kind of kiss you get from somebody. It's like when your marriage is falling apart and you stop getting that nice kiss on the lips. You get a little one on the cheek when they're just like, they don't even make eye contact with you when they're leaving for work. They're just like, I'm going to work. I'm out of here. So like their
It seems
relationship.
like to me like she doesn't really want to bang him, but you have to thank him for kind of like saving you.
Yeah.
So like you give him a little kiss on the cheek. See, she shut him down all this whole movie. She doesn't want him.
I love these guys. He's like, why are we fucking around? Just shoot them, kill them.
Yeah, he's like, they can't do that. Can we just shoot them?
He's like, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. So this is
Maybe they can't look. You know what I mean? It's like in Thor or whatever. They can't like.
This is the bit, this, like, as this scene is about to unfold, this is what got me so hopeful about the rest of this trilogy. I'm like, if this is what the rest of this is going to be, like, we are in for such a fucking treat.
Oh my God. Motherfucker. Oh shit.
Oh, speaking of which, apparently on his lightsaber, it says bad motherfucker.
No way.
It was a surprise. They engraved it on his hilt in tiny writing. And it's a well-known story, but he requested the purple lightsaber just so he could stand out in like the long shots and stuff like that. And then George Lucas explained to him, he's like, well, no, typically like Jedi only have blue or green. He's like, yeah, but I want a purple one. And that was the end of the conversation.
That's it.
And then he didn't find out until he came back for reshoots. And they showed him a scene with him with his purple lightsaber, and he was jacked.
Yeah, why not? What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Well, and then it becomes, because the cool thing about Star Wars and it being a universe is that all of a sudden has a backstory and lore. And like, so his backstory of that was basically he went and he saved some planet from some, you know, space threat, you know how these things go. And they gifted him with the crystal that grows on their planet. And he put that in his lightsaber as like...
See, that's a cool story they could tell in kind of a one-off.
Right?
They should have like Star Wars one-offs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and that's like, again, like the Detours is like a funny version of that, but I would love to see like...
I don't even mean a funny version.
No,
I mean like...
No, I know. I'm saying instead of a funny version, you could also have that. This is cool too, because you see a lot of Jedi get killed. Like, it's like, because always it feels like Jedi are the invincible things, but it's just like, you know, they're just as fallible and killable as everybody else. When you're being shot at from 35 different angles, you're not going to be able to block them all.
Yeah, in the Clone Wars, there's a cool scene where they were like going after Yoda.
Yeah.
And they were on some planet, but Yoda and Dooku were both courting these people to join either the
Yeah.
whatever or whoever the fuck.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, let me just see here, because Dooku was like, I have an army and there's one Jedi. And the guy was like, well, I've heard that one Jedi is worth like 100 droids. And then when the whole thing was done, he's like, it's more like 1,000.
Yeah.
So they're fucking good.
Yeah. They've got skills. Mad
And
skills.
because he kept his word, he went with the Jedi.
Oh, wonderful.
Because Dooku's a prick and tried to fuck him over.
Yeah. And there's so many things, too, because originally I guess they were going to make Dooku female in this. And they actually took a lot of those ideas to make Asajj Ventress, who is in Clone Wars, and his apprentice.
Oh, fuck. See you, bud.
Oh, yeah. He just Robocopped.
Fucking right he did.
I like the background
Can you do
Jedi.
that?
What?
Hey, Dad, can you do that?
Oh, yeah. I like when as always, I like watching background action. Just to see like how, if they're trying as hard as everybody else.
Right, they're just two guys, two bad guy and good guy. They're just having a coffee.
Well, I told you the one about Braveheart, right? Where you can see in the background two guys are sword fighting, but they're literally doing it like kids, where they're just like
Right.
ching, ching, ching. Like it's just like they can't even see us. We're probably not even in focus, but they were very much in focus.
It's like everything, yeah.
And it's
Oh.
like, and I was like, I doubt that even Mel Gibson has seen these two. And I was like,
so
but
great.
it's literally the first thing I saw, and I'm always looking for that shit. Boom.
Whoa.
You can see there, I just noticed it for the first time, I had read about it. You could see two shadows go flying. Because there's a moment when obviously in a moment when Boba picks up the helmet, and you're like, is his head still in there? No, that's why there's two shadows.
Because his head flew out
His
the
head
other
came
way.
out. Yeah. George Lucas, I think jokingly wanted to have him holding the helmet, and then his head slides out of it. Kit Fisto, how you doing?
So
buddy?
that's it for Jango Fett, eh?
Yeah.
Shit, man. He didn't last very long either.
No.
You guys don't seem like they're all that hot.
Yeah, I know, eh?
These fucking Mandalorians.
Yeah. And little backstory on
Oh, God.
on Django.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Django is a foundling, just like Din Djarin, the Mandalorian is.
Right.
Because like his parents were murdered, and then the Mandalorians took him in. So the only one who's technically not a Mandalorian is Boba Fett, because he's not raised.
He
in
wasn't
the way,
raised
or,
as
like, he was created
wearing
in
his
that
old man's
place.
armor.
Yeah, he was created in that place. He wore his old man's armor.
There you go. Like, why wouldn't you do that before?
Yeah,
You got a lightsaber, bud.
Well, he didn't before. You think they let him keep his lightsaber while they had him chained up in that thing?
Yeah, like, who handed out the lightsabers?
Yeah.
I missed that somewhere.
Oh, yeah, no, they literally, one of the Jedi rode up and he's like, here you go, I've got some spares. They're like, thank
Oh,
God.
sweet.
This has got some horrible puns here. This is such a drag.
Oh, my God.
You know what they should really do?
Lord Thunder and Jesus.
They should make, they should, like, in another Star Wars thing, they should have a different protocol droid who looks just like C-3PO, but Niles from Frasier should be the voice. I think he'd be perfect.
I heard they're coming out with Frasier again.
Yes, they are. It's that thing of none of them have job, like only Perry Gilpin's pulling in jobs.
That's just
And
strange,
it's like-
right?
and-
You think that Kelsey Grammer would have saved all his money from all the 8,000 jobs he did before he didn't have a job?
Well, I don't think money's a huge problem for him. I think it's just, hey, I'm back in the limelight.
He's bored. He just wants something to do. Fuck.
Probably. It's like, I'm divorced from my real housewife, and we're gonna get some shit.
Oh, exactly. Now you guys need some money. That's why G and R got back together. They all got divorced.
Yeah, not a lot of Jedi left.
Oh.
See, and that was another thing too, is because like you
Holy
talk
shit,
about,
you're right.
you talk about there being like no Jedi left, at the, at the beginning of the first Star Wars movie, the original. In the back there, the Twi'lek kind of girl, she's that's Isla Secura, and she's actually somebody who was not created by George Lucas. She was created in a comic book.
Ah,
And so they decided, and he really liked the design of her and stuff, and decided to add her. Also,
Cool,
there's
eh?
Shakti in the background.
oh crap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back up.
Something I really like too is a lot of like the ships and
Woo.
designs are like the cool precursors to like what you see the Empire make later.
Right.
So it's like you get these walkers and stuff like that. It's like the first AT-AT, right? It's like, All clones.
How the hell could you not get shot? Jesus Christ,
I
there's lasers
know,
fucking
right?
everywhere.
Yeah, one of them should have accidentally taken like all the Jedi out, and they're like, "We're doing Order 66, right?" No, it's not Order 66. Jesus Christ! Keep a secret, why don't you? Duh.
What the fuck?
Sorry, I'm part of the Bad Batch.
The Bad I thought I smelled rotten eggs.
I want that to be the thing so bad, but I think what the Bad Batch is a group of people who like don't follow orders like they're supposed
Of
to.
course.
And, yeah.
No, it's not. It's gonna be bad clones. Bad Batch, bad.
Yeah. Like one of them's got like a tiny arm.
Yeah, it's like every one of them's like the last Michael Keaton in Multiplicity.
Look at me. How do I look? That it's the only line I can even remember from that movie.
Are his knees always like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he looks different there. But he could have knee swap outs or anything. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
He might have like tore an ACL and got it fixed up. Right? They have ACLs.
Well, the other one, who are we watching in The Mandalorian? That one that just got killed?
No. The Mandalorian you're watching, like The Mandalorian isn't any of them, but you're watching Boba Fett.
That there.
in
Who is the Mandalorian?
The Mandalorian's just another dude. He's none of these guys.
No, but he's not a clone either.
No. He's just another guy who was brought up by Mandalorians.
I thought maybe he was. I was like, hey, wait a minute. He doesn't look like the clones.
Because he's not.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yes. There's an interesting thing, too, about the clones. I learned when we had Fred Kennedy on, who was doing his own, like, kind of fanfic version of all this stuff. He, the only way that you could get, have a name if you were a clone is if you got what was called the cloner's dozen. So once you've, like, confirmed 12 kills, they gave you a name. So the ones, like, when you hear Commander Cody and all these different ones, otherwise you were CT and a number. So one of them was CT 5555. Then he gets called Fives later on.
Right.
Stuff
That's kind of
like
neat.
that. Yeah.
So if you have 12, then you get a name.
Yeah.
They did amass an army quite quickly.
Yeah. Well, this was over
They're
This was over the course of 10 years they built this army.
Right.
So it was just kind of like none of them knew about it because it was all secret shit.
Well, they got fucking, well, of course, right? They're ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we knew you guys were fucking getting ready, so we're ready.
No doubt.
Now this war that was not even ready nobody planned for this afternoon.
No.
Fuck, now there's a war going on. Look at these dudes.
Yeah.
These guys are neat looking.
Oh. Yeah, see,
just
like
throw,
this
just
is...
surround yourself by clones, man.
Well, that's the whole
They're
thing,
not
too.
even people.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they have feelings, bud. And they all have the same memories.
Not valid feelings. I don't
Not
think...
valid.
Yeah.
Pretty soon there's going to be a union, bud. You're going to be fucked then.
Very good. See, he's good with the praise. He throw him a treat.
Maybe the Bad Batch are
See,
going to be,
the original
right? Like
one.
I said, they're going to be clones that don't fucking want to stand in line
I
anymore.
really love the design of the ship that drops off the walkers. Did you see that?
No.
So a ship came down and it put the walker on its feet. So there's one right there. Right?
I always dug too. I don't know which one it is, but when it's like the ship, maybe it's the third one where the ship comes down and then like rows upon rows of them all folded up come out, and then the next, like a chamber of a gun.
Yeah,
it's rows and rows and rows of the friggin' robots.
Oh yeah, that was great. In the first one, you can see in the background. They mentioned it earlier, later on as well. But you could see the Death Star sitting in the background.
No shit.
But they make a major mention to it shortly in this. But I didn't realize that. See, there it is.
No way.
So it's the Geonosians who are.
They must not find our plans for the ultimate weapon.
It's something that was really funny. I was thinking about it today, just because it's something that people ask a lot. Like plot hole style, they're like, but it took so long for them to build this Death Star, because you see that they're building this Death Star in episode 3, but they don't use it until episode 4, which is like quite a way. It's like 16 years later.
Right.
They're like, how do you have another one in time for Return of the Jedi, which is like a year later? And they're like, well, they were already building that one.
So, once you build one, you work the kinks out, the next one's easy. Then
No,
you can
but-
have a fucking assembly line.
Well, what my thought was, it would be like building a building. Like you have the first group come in to build like the structure, and then you have the next group in to build like infrastructure.
And then
you have
while
the plumbers come in,
and then they
kept moving on.
It's like making a Simpsons episode.
Yes, precisely. Except far less Koreans working on the Death Star.
Yeah.
There was a scene, it was just a story that Christopher Lee told. I guess Francis Ford Coppola came to set one day, and it was literally the scene they were shooting is when he's on that little speeder thing. So it's literally just him sitting on that speeder, deadpan, in front of a green screen, and he's just like, he's just sitting like that for a while, and they go, okay, cut. He's like, then they both came over me and praised me for my performance. He's like, I didn't do anything.
Great stuff, Christopher. Great stuff.
I guess Terrence Stamp had a chance to come back in this movie, and he didn't want to because he's like actors prefer working with other actors. So I think like he was just like stuck in a green screen. He's like, I'm not dealing with this.
I know. See, that's what makes it look like shit now. It's like the whole movie's like in front of you're gone for 6 months in front of a fucking green screen.
It can be done well. There are movies where it's like it looks like it's done, but it's,
no, that's
it's
not what
so
I'm saying. I'm just saying like in the sense of acting now.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I said, like before I was saying like obviously I still want to be an actor, but man, this process looks like shit.
I think it's all
like,
about
you're gone for months and months and months, and it's just like, oh man.
The ability to work interact with your environment is obviously a big deal, and that's why I think that massive thing that
that's cool
that they're doing with the Mandalorian is so cool because you can see where you are.
That's
even
the
though
acting they're talking about. Did you see the hand?
Yeah, that was that's why I said it was precisely like this scene. Pew 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 pew.
This action scene's been going, man.
I know.
This one has a beast, like fucking.
And then like the action scene like turns into a different thing. I like that she got like a midriff shirt out of that thing because of her fight with.
Of course, come on.
I got all tore up, so I had to show my belly button. But you might as well do that when you're like that age, right? Because she's never gonna look better.
No way. You wait until she's in Thor. You know she must have been working out.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna look fucking ripped. She's gonna have huge Thor arms.
It was funny. They made a point too of.
Oh my God! He's telling her not to go back for her.
Yep.
Fuck that.
They're at war, man. See?
The Star Trek crew would never leave somebody behind.
But he even has the same realization that Obi Wan was saying. He's like, she would not go back for you.
Right.
She's like, if it meant the end of this war and you dying, or you living and and we could lose this war, you would be a dead person. That would be it.
How do you know she wouldn't go back? He's just saying that. He's just fucking with his mind.
He's way more obsessed with her than she is of him.
Oh, absolutely. That's why she only gave him a little peck in the cheek.
Yeah. She if Hemsworth showed up on this set, like it would be over.
What do you joke? Of course.
Yeah.
Holy Christ.
That's what I said.
Hemsworth shows up anywhere.
Yeah. Even Liam. Not Luke, though. Sorry. Yeah. Hey.
I saw the scene. I don't know what it was on. It was real though, and it was like Tyson Fury meeting Jason Momoa, and the first thing he says to Momoa, he's like, "My wife is the biggest crush on you." Yeah. He's like so pissed off at her, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem. I like the design of his lightsaber too. That kind of rapier curve.
Oh yeah, it's got a little. It's cool. Yeah. It's like goes with the hand.
Mm-hmm. So they do a lot of like CGing his face on the stuntman.
No way, man. He's got kicks.
Yeah. Yeah, you imagine this is the most fit he ever was. See, this is the one thing that bummed me out about this one, because it's like the first movie you get like friggin' Ray Park, who's just like a master.
They didn't have enough of them though.
No, they didn't have enough, but I'm talking about just that lightsaber fight that they have is outstanding because they're all so good in that scene. Like they were all so athletic and so whatever. This one, you've got an old man plus a guy who could do it. And it's just like, that's why the Obi Wan Anakin lightsaber duel in the third movie is like bar none. Destroys.
That must be in the third one where they're fighting at the Senate place.
Oh yes, at the Senate. He fights in this one too.
Right. Yes. I was thinking that big Senate scene. Oh, Dooku's got him.
No, yeah.
See, and you see what's her name? She lands.
Yeah.
in the dirt. She's not all pissed off. She knows.
Yep.
And she's like, we got to hit them now again. Like she's what a warrior.
Got work to
She's
do.
way more man than that fucking wiener bag.
Yeah. See, this, again, this was a chance to do something really cool. And, like, you get a little bit, but not a lot. Oh, my God. Yeah. My least favorite part is about to come. So I like this. This is actually the first.
That was cool.
Yeah. This is one of the first movies that they used anything to allow, like, their lightsabers to kind of reflect and stuff like that. So, like, you can see, like, the lights reflecting off their faces and stuff. They don't have that in the other ones because there obviously is no light emitting from their sabers. It was just metal poles.
Right.
It's not until the third trilogy that they actually created.
You're gonna put the bug in fucking his ear. Now he's gonna come out with the recut where their lightsabers glow off their faces. It was his fucking hand.
I know, right?
Dooku's a badass. Dooku just rocked both of them.
Right. But then, it's not until the third trilogy that they started like making lightsabers that gave off light that they could use to fight with.
Right.
So that it would reflect off of them. This, I remember being so excited. Like, you could feel it in the crowd, be like, oh.
Dooku must be good, man. He just defeated Obi Wan and Anakin.
Easily, too.
Yeah, like no prob.
And I like that, too, because it's hard, like, it's very hard to sell these guys, right? Whereas, like, you just gonna have to trust me. This guy's really good at this. But it's like, no, you gotta show you gotta show me, baby.
This is cool. Fucking A.
Mm-hmm. I remember because there's a line that's about to come up that like makes me like cream my jeans every friggin' time.
Jeaner creamer?
Jeaner creamer, yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna get him. Come on, buddy.
Dooku. It's weird too because he's not he's never referred to as a Darth in this, but he is Darth Tyrannus. And even when they ask Jango who hired him, he's like, were you hired by Sifo-Dyas? He's like, no, I was hired by Tyrannus. And that's him. It's just that nobody knows him by that name. He sells himself as
He's surprised at how strong Yoda is.
I know. Which really, would you be though? He's like, yeah, he's a 900-year-old Jedi who's been teaching everybody how to do this, including me.
Oh, fuck
The second he said that, I was just like, it's going to happen. And then he did this.
Like, come on now, right?
Whoop. I like that he has a teeny tiny lightsaber.
It's a little one, eh? It's for him.
I know, it makes sense. So.
Oh, yeah. Look at him go.
I love it. And it makes so much sense, too. It's just like...
He's just like saving his energy all the time for when he's got to kick fucking ass.
Right? And I guess, so for reference, they had like a little Yoda on a stick. So, he knows where to go and stuff like that. But they put fangs, like Dracula fangs on him, just like to like rib at him for being Dracula. Also worth noting, too, that he was Dracula to Peter Cushing's Van Helsing in the Hammer horror things. So Peter Cushing obviously being
I like Peter
Grand
Cushing.
Moff Tarkin.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And
again, he called him his young Padawan.
Yeah.
Or my old Padawan.
Yeah, he was his Padawan.
Oh, my God.
I like
You're lucky Granddad came to save your little punk asses. Holy fuck.
There's a thing, and I think it's I don't know if it's a novel or a comic, but there's a bit where, because like, you know how we talked about Yaddle, which is like Yoda's species, it's the female one, you could see her in a couple shots,
right,
in the thing.
Is that what their species are called? Yaddles?
No, it's Yaddle is the name of the other one.
What are they called?
They don't have a name.
Really?
They never gave them
There's
a name.
no name.
No name.
Everybody calls them like the Yodas.
Yeah. Well, that's why they say Baby Yoda.
Yeah, baby. That's what they call them too, right?
Well, that was my thinking. I was almost like, maybe there's just two of them. There's a male and a female, and one dies, and then another one is born. This was actually the original design for Padme's ship.
Whoa.
And I don't know why I put a weird like British instead of an but it's Padme's ship because they were like, it would be like a sailing yacht kind of thing. It's using solar winds to sail through space.
That's cool.
And so they decided not to go with that. So they were like, waste not, want not, right? Get a scene together. or get a design.
I like that. I like those kind of neat little idea. Oh, look at that's like what Darkseid scratched into the planet so that he can rule the universe with this old math equation.
No, this is Coruscant. It's just from up high. It just looks like, but it's all city. See,
neat.
As we get.
See, why can't we go fucking? You know, when it's cool to go to Wonderland.
Them too.
You know, to like Disneyland. But it's like there's so many fucking people. You know what I mean? It's like it would be cool to really immerse. Oh, like that hotel or whatever they're talking about. They need more shit like that.
Yep.
Like a real cowboy town.
I think that would be great. I think it would be, you know what would be a cool summer camp to do? Imagine they did that with Hogwarts for kids. And you sent them to summer camp and they were in Hogwarts and they learned.
See, like shit like that. I thought too, if you could go like I always love that kind of city slickers idea where you go to an old town, but you got to sign up. Like it would be, you'd have to sign up for like at least a month.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You sign up for what you want to be. You want to be a gunslinger and your wife can be like
the whore,
whatever, but she doesn't near. She can run the whore. She can do whatever.
See, Lord Tyrannus.
This will be a new cowboy world where women can be male roles, and vice versa. Like if you want to be a female go fucking right ahead, be a female gunslinger.
Yeah. Remember that movie starring Madeline Stowe?
The quote of The Quick and the Dead.
Yeah.
With Sharon Stone.
That movie was decent.
And Leonardo, had Leo Russell.
Yeah. So Leonardo DiCaprio actually was very briefly mentioned as a thought to be Anakin because he was kind of the right age at this time.
Right.
And people were going bananas angry at that idea because he was like, they're like, it's because he was the pretty boy of the time. Right. And they're like, nope. And and then it's so like, that got shut down really fast.
Oh, I believe so too, buddy. I agree with that. Oh, so what is he? Where's Buddy floating around with his arm chopped off?
No, he's on his way back to Naboo, escorting the senator.
I guess because
it's literally you asked the question and he answered it for you. Well, that actually does happen because I'm in the middle of listening to that too. But I'm in the middle of listening to the audiobooks for the Thrawn trilogy of the Star Wars novels. And obviously it goes in a different direction than this because they came out way before any prequels or any sequels. So when they talk about the Clone Wars, they're still talking about people fighting.
Begun the Clone War.
And
look at this.
And there's a lot of but like there's so much cool extra stuff.
Holy moly.
I know, eh? There's so much cool extra stuff that you like kind of see in those, and like you see like kind of Luke Skywalker's continued story, and you see Han's continued story, and all these cool guys and what their plans were, and like the plans beyond the Emperor because the Emperor is dead. So
Jimmy fucking Smits.
Right? Yep, Jimmy Smits takes over.
Are these? Oh, because he's still a good guy. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, well, he's still a good guy.
Yes, he's a hidden good guy.
Yeah. No, well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's a hidden bad guy.
There you go, yeah. Whatever.
And they're getting married.
Oh, they told you not supposed to. That's why nobody showed up at the robots.
Exactly. They're doing this in secret because he would be expelled from the job.
Oh. He's still going to get a peck on the cheek. Loser.
Yeah, that's why he turns to the dark side. They
will not.
He's like, we've been married for 5 years and we haven't consummated this marriage. She's like, I let you touch my boob once. And he's like, that's not enough. It was with my robot hand.
You've been hanging out with that Thor guy way too much.
Yeah. But come on. How bad, like, I would think about that because I'm such a self-conscious prick. I would, like, if I had, like, a kissing scene with her and then I watch her in Thor and I'm like, well, I'm not Chris Hemsworth. Like, she's not even going to remember kissing me.
Of course she's not.
Like, even though, like, the kiss is strictly, like, platonic, it's not, like, meant for love on the set or anything like that. But I would still, like, I still would want to be memorable. I still want her to be like, of all the people I kissed on set, like, he was the best kisser. And
or you want to be the best or the worst so they never forget you.
Yeah. Well, who was it? Yay! I'm trying to think of who it was. There was somebody who used to, like, eat onions and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, I heard the story, too, before their love scene. They would just eat, like, a fucking dirty old, like, onion and, like, egg salad sandwich. I'd fucking smack I'd be like, you motherfucker.
You gross asshole.
Sounds like something Mel Gibson would do or something.
Yeah. But he's a prankster,
He's a wankster.
Yeah. Remember when he pulled the prank on that cop and said the Jews caused everything? Imagine that. Could you imagine if all of a sudden he comes out and he's like, the whole thing was a prank. He's like, I've been a cool dude the whole time.
That's how they try and spin it, eh? Like,
and then his like Jewish best friend and black best friend come out and he's like, he's totally cool. Trust us.
And then his third friend, the black Jew. Boom. That cleanses the deal. It's like, how can he hate anybody if he hangs out with this black Jewish man?
Darnell Manischewitz.
Exactly. You know what? This movie wasn't nearly as bad as I hated it 4 years ago. No, not too bad, buddy.
No, absolutely. It was, it's still, like I said, it's still my least favorite of
way too special effect heavy.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Well, that was the thing that I really liked in episode, or like, what's it called? The Force Awakens. Like there was still a lot of CG in it, but they put a lot of practical back in it because they knew people wanted that, right?
Watching this movie makes me want to watch the one where they steal the plans for the Death Star.
Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Fucking A, that was a good one, man. Not as good as Solo, but whatever.
See, it's interesting. I rewatched Solo.
Fuck, I love Solo, man.
I enjoy Solo a lot. Like
I love it.
I
think it's a far smarter movie than people give it credit for.
Yeah. It's like, I understand people's, not their gripe with the movie, but just kind of their prejudice of the movie, but I don't share it. Where it's just,
I don't either. I don't understand what people had. It was a rollicking adventure.
Yeah.
It wasn't CG Harrison Ford's face. I thought the guy who played Solo did a great job.
I thought he was good.
I thought the action was great. I love the ending where she's bad and I just thought it was great. The movie treated you like you were an adult, like you weren't a stupid fucking idiot.
What I really would like to see happen is the and people have actually asked for it too. It was kind of it was Solo's version of the Snyder Cut. They've asked for Disney Plus to release a new Solo movie. So like, it was like, if you're worried about box office, don't worry about box office. Just release it on Disney Plus. We want to see the movie continue. Because they built it for
Solo
sequels.
too. Well, obviously, with her driving, well, it's not a happy ending. That's what I really like too. She fucks off on him and he's just standing there like, oh fuck, like I just got played.
Yeah. They signed
shit.
And they signed him for a trilogy. So.
I know, and that's why I feel bad for it's funny too, Ron Howard, the man there, totally was like, it's my #1 movie I've ever made. He's like, it's the movie that made the most money of any movie I've ever made.
I know.
And it's like a flop and everybody hates it.
Nothing makes me angrier than hearing a movie called a flop that made a massive profit.
I know, right?
It made like quintuple its money.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh man, what a piece of crap.
See,
this didn't top $1 billion.
This is what gets me to, like, I know obviously in the movie industry, you gotta pander. Yeah. To a certain extent. But when a movie comes out that they what didn't help it too was the story. If you never heard any of the stories of the Chris Miller and what's his name, Ward being fired, you would never have known. And I guarantee you the movie would have been received better.
Oh, absolutely.
If you never knew, if they said the whole time that it was a Ron Howard movie and blah, 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 then,
Wow.
It's only 119. We did pretty good there.
Yeah.
Not real time. Somebody may be able to locate us now that we just said the time.
Oh my God, I have to get up at like 7.
That's disgusting. I will literally probably still be awake.
Oh my God.
Somewhere around 4 o'clock, I'll go to bed.
Yeah.
And I'll lie there for like an hour doing nothing. And then I will wake up again and sit down and probably continue with another awful marathon of movies. It's weird how it works out though. Like I watched Trancers. Yeah. And then literally I didn't read anything about the Trancers movies when I was watching through them. Then I picked Nemesis and it was the same like director and the same actor. He was the bad guy and I was like, what the fuck? Like, it always happens like that.
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck? Well, may the 4th be with you, everybody. Hopefully Star Wars will take us all away from our terrible lives. Terrible, awful, insignificant. You know what? You know what we are? We're those 2 worms that tried to crawl up Amidalia's butt.
Yeah.
But we didn't even get there because we were chopped down before we had time to do whatever the fuck we were going to do.
Maybe we'll try for another hot Israeli and go for Gal Gadot.
Fuck yeah.
I don't like
Gadot.
I don't like saying Gal Gadot, even though it's right.
It is?
Yes.
I thought it was Gadot.
No. Everybody was saying Godot for the longest time, and then somebody was like, it's Gadot. Like, not correcting me directly, but it was in, like, whatever, and they're like, it's actually Gadot. And
Is
I'm like,
it?
oh.
They're having one on you.
No.
They never said Gadot. Like, coming up on the show is the Gadotster.
It actually, well, they have been more recently, but it's
Maybe
interesting
she corrected
too.
them.
No, well, she never called herself Godot. But the thing is, Godot is French, and she's not. So it's like, it makes sense that... No,
Who are you to say she's not French?
Well, she is someone to say she's not French.
Oh, well. Her heritage.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's wrap this turkey up. So, again, I don't think you're going to see the video version of this because it was all fucked up. But, sorry. We'll see. Maybe we'll put it up anyways because I'm talking about it, so we might as well have it. As always, visit us at miscastcommentary.com. Email us podcast@miscastcommentary.com. We're at Twitter at miscastpodcast. I'm at miscastjoe. Todd's at miscasttodd. At miscastcommentary is the Instagram. What other fun things? Facebooks and Discords and all those good things. You can find links to all those things in our at our website. And keep an eye out for me on Dueling Decades and other great things. So this is out on May 4th. May 6th May 7th, Wednesday, we're doing an episode, so keep an eye out. All right, until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.